All right. Let's get this thing crunk up, y'all. Good morning. Good morning. Let's get this thing crunk. Let's go.
I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the result. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who be caught up in using what I was taught with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena Horne. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, outcast it like hey ya.
Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's the number one chief rocker in Knicks universe. Your main man, Uncle Freezy, and welcome to the Knicks Morning Drive. Y'all want this party started, right? Y'all want this party started quickly, right? What's good? What's good, man? It's good to see y'all, my people, my beautiful people. What's good? What's good? Bing bong. What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good, party people? What's good? It seemed like we just left each other, right? It seems as if we just left each other. And we back, baby. Hey, King Aunt G, and Sarge, I need y'all help with something, okay? King Aunt G, I need y'all help with something. I'm trying to do a video with Knicks fans for Patreon, and I want y'all to help me do that if y'all have time, right? I want y'all to help me with that if y'all have time, okay? I got others that I want to help me do stuff, but for this specific one, I want y'all to help me with this if y'all can. If y'all have time for your man. If y'all got time for your homeboy, let me know. And it ain't nothing major. It ain't nothing major. It's a specific topic that I want to talk about. And I think you guys will be the best for that, for the topic. It'll be other topics, and I'm gonna ask other people. But for this topic, I want y'all to help me with it. Right? But good morning to my Knicks family. Good morning. Blue tears, orange tears, orange tears. Abim. Throw your hands in the air and wave like you just don't care. And if you got some loot and a stick of juicy fruit, somebody say, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Scream. What's good, y'all? Yo, Don P is in the building. Yo, Don P in the building. I was great getting to this thing. You know you can't have Don P waiting. Because when Don P wait, all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know Y'all know that Don P is champagne, caviar, and bubble baths. Champagne, caviar, and bubble baths. See, that's the life that I lead. Use Hugger MC. That's Don P. That's Don P. That's Don P. Right. And so, Blarns to his family, if you're watching this, and if you're watching for the first time, subscribe to the channel. This is definitely your place to get Knicks content. Right? Consider joining our Patreon. The Patreon, it's new, but it's that place to get a balance of NBA and Knicks. So it's good. Over here, it's like 90% Knicks, 10% NBA. Over there, it's going to be 50% NBA, 50% Knicks. And I'm going to ask y'all to help me get that thing off the ground, become members over there. And because in order to give both the content that we want, because here's the thing. Y'all want me, well, not y'all, but a lot of people want me to do this full time, but I can't because first of all, I got a career, right? I got stuff that I do outside of this, right? And I like doing that. I got a career that I like doing outside of this Knicks talk, right? But the thing is, you guys want me to do this full time, and I just can't for that. But if we could transition to me doing this full time for y'all, being here, doing these shows 4 times a week, 4 times a day, producing shows, being here for y'all, then I have to do this full time. And if you guys want to help me do that full time, then by contributing to the Patreon and consider being a member of this page can kind of help me get closer to that goal. But I just can't do that right now. Even though I understand what you guys want. You want Knicks content 24/7. I want to provide Knicks content 24/7, but it's the priority thing. Y'all know how it is. Y'all know how it is. Yo, the queen is in the building. Let me roll out this red carpet here for the queen. Where the red carpet at? That's my girl. That's my girl, the queen. What's good, queen? So I'm asking if you want me to continue to do more stuff, more Knicks stuff. Consider becoming a member of this page. Consider joining the Patreon. The link is in the bio. I think the link is in the bio. If I didn't do it, then I'm slacking. If I didn't put it in there, I'll put it in there. Let me welcome the guys first, real quick. Fellas, what's good?
Good morning.
Yo, what's good, y'all?
Bro, hey, let me tell y'all something corny. Let me tell y'all something corny, right? Yo, I legit miss y'all, right? And we just got up the joint like 2:00 this morning.
Yeah, I still have nightmares of Angie chasing me though.
Yo, not legit. I'm in because I'm in this room, right? I'm trying to turn this joint into a studio, right? Like a little studio. See, I put the posters up, got a little aquarium in the back, got a little something. Got a little something, right? And I was in here like, yo, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I love talking to Jay. I love when King Ant G get his bag, bro. I ain't even gonna lie to you. If y'all notice when King Ant G getting his bag, I just shut up and move out the way. I did that like the last 3 shows. Anybody notice that? Like King Ant G getting his bag, I just slide to the side and let King Ant G rock.
Yeah,
and Don P is the most like me. Me and Don P probably the most alike. You know what I'm saying? We might not agree on everything, but in terms of the way we think about stuff, we probably the closest. Morocco Joe, what's good?
Hey, what's poppin', man?
I just want to say again, you do still look like Chris Copeland, uncle.
So just throwing that out there.
Nephew owe me $50.
Yeah, I call Freezy the humble architect, yo.
I
He
be
likes to put
trying,
things
bro.
together and just sit back and just chill.
Yeah, man. Because the thing is YouTube is littered with a lot of Knicks content. I don't know how often Knicks fans get a true chance to contribute from their fandom, from their fans' perspective.
Yo,
right?
let me say this too about the amount of Knicks content. When you see Twitter blow up about a Donovan Mitchell potential trade, and then you see all these new channels out of nowhere acting like they know what the Knicks community is, it's crazy, bro. You just see these channels with like 30 subscribers come out of nowhere doing live streams about the Knicks. It's like, bro, you don't know what you're talking about at all.
Yeah,
you don't know us at all. You late to the cookout.
That's what makes the Knicks special, yo, because you got other fans out there that'll make a Knicks show or make a Knicks live, and that'll blow up more than any other show.
Yeah.
We're talking about the Knicks.
Yeah.
Even if they hate them.
If y'all would let me bless me with like the 2 minutes just to say something real quick, I would appreciate it, you know. Before I ever found out this page, I was skim through it and I'd be like, I would never catch myself dead listening to a 3, 4, 5 hour Knicks show. I was like, that's not for me. And then I go through my work day and I caught Freezy's show one day. And I'm like, man, like the time flies by.
Right.
And then we do it 2, 3 times a day. I'm catching myself at work on this. And I'm like, man, this is like a part of me now. So people don't realize, like, when you have your immediate family, that's your immediate family, right? But when you're away from home and you're working, whether it be a radio station or now, you know, messing around with YouTube creators and content creators, you kind of build a nice little bond with people you never would have thought of.
Right.
So I'm coming here humbly saying, Freezy, thank you. Once I will be joining your Patreon to keep supporting you, because man, it's like now is you guys are part of my daily routine, and it's nice just speaking to people, you know. And that's the only way I could put it. Just thank you very much.
And Jay, and listen, and so you think this is just about you, right? But when you come on and like say for 3 or 4 times in a row, other Knicks fans gravitate towards Jay. They're like, yo, I want to hear what Jay got to. Y'all crazy. What Jay at? What Jay got to say about this?
I get it, but it's for me. Like I told you, I did a couple years in the Army, and I'm very. I know what it is to have a band.
Army. Oh man, sorry. I'm sorry.
It's all right, Devil Dog. You'll get your turn one day. You know, so it's like I'm used to being around a band of brothers, you know, and a band of sisters, and being very close knit. And like here is like it really does feel like Knicks against the world, and I love the energy, whether it's positive or negative. We're all here together, and that's something I really value. So I just want to take time out and say that, even though if you come up late, I go throughout my day. I'm working now. I'm like, man, I remember Freezy told me 8 o'clock will be Rocky. Like, where he at? I'm waiting.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Hey, I gotta get better at that, bro. But what happens too is sometimes I do schedule and I do want to jump on, but I'll discover something that I can't pass up. Like I discovered like this morning, I discovered some things that I could do on Patreon that I didn't know before, and y'all started pushing the Patreon thing. And so shout out to Uncle Alchemy. Like what I discovered is you can do outro videos on Patreon, thanking people that join. And so when I found that out, I'm like, yo, I gotta do that. Because I gotta let people know personally that I appreciate them. And so once I discovered that, I started working on it. Right. Hey, Green, I see you back. Hold on for just a second, because we want to introduce you. We want to introduce you, bro. We don't want to just just bring you on and have you just sit with the family that's already been here. Just be patient with me, bro. So yeah, y'all. So it's a lot of stuff, man. And then when you're trying to do it, and then have a wife and a life and have dogs. You know what I'm saying? And
you did get out
have
8 o'clock,
stuff
by the way,
going on.
Freezy. You did start at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock my time, which is right. Right on time.
Oh, you selfish. You selfish.
I'm in the center of the world, son.
Yeah.
You know how it is when they say 50
Center of
minutes.
the world.
They say formation at 600. You better be in 15 minutes before, Freezy.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Yo,
Yeah,
my shorty, she be like, yo, like, are you mad at them? You know how we be getting passionate and everything. My shorty be like, yo, like, are you or something? I'm like, nah, this is how we talk. This is Knicks talk.
That's just how we talk to each other, Don.
Yeah, that's never mad, man. I like old school NBK, man. These conversations used to get crazier than this. When you got who's marking there, Guillermo, Prince Bond, you know, so like sometimes I get passionate. Like I'm King NG, if you know me, like I'll be ready to go. But
all the time.
Well, like,
all the time, ain't it? All the time. Like,
man.
what you say? You know what I'm saying?
But you know what's great about it? It's a healthy conversation. That's what it's very, you know, it's good. It's good to just talk it out.
It's barbershop talk, man. You on the front, the guys, and like, man, it's what we do.
Yeah, and then plus you gotta stand your ground too. It's not just about being aggressive. Sometimes you just gotta stand your ground. But let me bring in somebody new, right? Okay. Let me bring in somebody new.
Yo, salute. Good morning,
Green
fellas.
from LI. What's good?
Good morning, fellas.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. How about yourselves?
Good. How long you been a Knicks fan?
I've been a Knicks fan since I was about 9. I'm 28 now.
Okay.
Oh, the baby. It's the baby.
Okay, so hey, it's good to have you here, bro.
I've been a Knicks fan. That's the only team I've liked since I was a little kid. My grandma put me on and never ever changed.
You know what? Green, you were special people, man, because we became Knicks fans when they were terrible.
Yeah, I'm part of like them Chris Duhon days. So
man, don't say that name.
I definitely know.
Don't say that name.
He's about to be my profile picture.
Ow.
Ow. Yeah.
Yo, hey, Rayology is in the chat. What's good, Ray? What's good? Hey, let me shout out all my people real quick. My people that's in here. I want to make sure I shout them out, show them some love. Shout out to JJ Greeny. What's good? I thought you was gonna be in the joint. What's good, Greeny? Not you, Greeny. I'm talking about the other Greeny 2.0, the other one. Bing Bong is in the building. Eddie F, what's good? JJ is in the building. Forbes Phil is in the building. What's good?
This is the same Greeny. I just changed my name. That's why I had backed up the stage earlier. That's
what?
I changed it. Yeah, I had changed my name because I wanted to let people know I was from New York. You know what I mean? I'm from LA.
Man, you gotta tell me that, bro. If you already been up here, why? I would now you owe me $2. Now you owe me a pack of Newports.
I got you.
I'm just
Where you getting Newports for $2 at though?
Yeah. You see how I upped the price? You see how I was up it? I was just about to say a carton before Morocco Joe cut me off. You owe me a carton.
Hey, you know I smoked them bogeys too, so be careful.
Yeah, man. Hey,
I remember the first time I hopped on this show, I had COVID, and I was sitting in the car smoking cigarettes, and Freezy was like, "Yo, why you smoking Newports? Why you got COVID? What you doing?"
Like you smoking Newports and you got COVID, bro. What kind of machine are you, bro?
Smoking cigarettes with COVID is dangerous. That's just scary.
Yeah. Williams in the building. John Chiriel is in the building. What's good? Sanga Waldron is in the building. Look, everybody here. Everybody is here. What's good, y'all? What's good? Tom from Huntington is in the building. What's good? Snelly, what's good? Almighty Finesse is in. Mr. Lee is here. Keith Turner, what's good? 20 Sam is here. The hip-hop legend Cormega is here. What's good? What's good at Chuck Allen? What's good? I see you, DSJ. DSJ coming out with that Hood Goddess remix. The Hood Goddess is fire, y'all. Nick G is in the building. What's good? What's happening? Yo, Frank Matos is good. SB Sports Talk is in the building. Well, I know you say SB Talk Sports. I know this, SB. I know this. All right. JP is in the building. He probably somewhere cooking. Andrew College is in the building. What's good, y'all? What's good? Toonie Music. Yo, Rivera is in the chat. Rivera, what you doing in the chat? I thought you was gonna be up here with us. Yo, Rivera is big time, bro. Rivera is big time, y'all. Rivera is definitely big time. Marvin, what's good? That's our guy, Marvin. Salute to Marv, man. Marv's perspective from the other side. What's good? What's good? Craig McQueen is in the building. Rome Far Rock is in the building. What's good? What's good? SB, how the fam doing? How the fam doing? The fam good? Hey, SB be typing slow. He probably at work. You know he got 3 jobs. Paris Duggar is in the building. What's good? What's good?
Yo, shout out to Paris Duggar, man. He got like a whole $1,000 worth of super chats at $2 at a time. Just $2 at a time, though. I don't know how he set it up. It's like an auto withdrawal from his bank account. Just $2 at a time.
He old school, man. And I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I appreciate Paris Duggar in 3 different ways. First of all, Paris Duggar always shows up. He always here, and I love that. That do a lot for our confidence by seeing somebody that constantly come back and come back and come back and come back. So Paris Duggar, thank you for that. Right? Paris Duggar contributes super chats, and trust me, that goes a long way to setting up all this stuff that I have. Like I got all this stuff in this room, bro. All y'all don't see it because it's off camera. But where I grab all these stats from, where I be making all this stuff from, the art, all that stuff costs bread, bro. Like all these websites, Synergy, Cleaning the Glass, all these subscription websites.
Even StreamYard.
Yeah,
what you using Stream?
And StreamYard, yeah, all this stuff, man, costs money. So when y'all contribute financially, man, I be appreciating that because y'all helping me further my dream of providing Dope Knicks content to people that need Dope Knicks content. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate Paris Duggar doing that. And 2, Paris Duggar always keep it real. So Paris Duggar, 2 of the 3, all 3 of the things I value. But man, listen, I appreciate you always showing up, and I definitely appreciate you always keeping it real.
Well, most of the time, keeps it real. Most of the time. Sometimes he's whack.
Oh, Freezy, to address your point earlier about how I got onto the tiers page. For me, I'm a big fan. I'm a big Knicks fanatic, so I'm watching videos every morning. I'm refreshing, looking for new videos. For me, the best ability is availability. So every time I go on YouTube and swipe, I see tiers on it. So I start clicking, and it's a good conversation every time. So now I feel like I'm home.
Right, and here, so I got a conversation. I got a conversation for y'all, and it's been one I was wanting to say for a weekday, right? But I'm thinking I might whip it out today to see how it goes, and then if it's got any legs to it, then we'll maybe do it on like a busy day, like a Wednesday, like a peak day, like a Wednesday. It's a Sunday morning now. So I don't expect 400 people to be on the chat, right? I expect about 200 to be because it's a Sunday morning. Y'all know how it is.
Everybody at church.
All right. So and I'm gonna put a poll out there too. I'm gonna poll y'all also. Here's my question. I want to start with Spree, right? Spree, should the Knicks trade Julius Randle?
Uh-oh.
Damn.
Can I ask clarification on the question?
Sure, of course.
When you say that, are you saying now?
Yes.
No.
Like right now.
Right now.
No Donovan.
Freezy just lights the match and watches everything burn. Like,
No, they shouldn't trade him right now because I'd like to get his value higher. That's my answer. My answer is you give him 2 months with Jalen Brunson. Julius Randle can't play any worse. I think his value is going to heat up. I think he's going to play well for those first month or two. I'm not saying he's going to go back to what he was, but I need to get his value up first before I have a conversation about just giving him away for a box of cookies. because that's basically what you're doing. Unless there's something I don't understand, and you're just trying to free up space because you have something in your back pocket, which I don't think the Knicks have right now. So I would wait. I would give it a couple months. I think his value will get up.
Okay.
Interesting.
Hey, D Blocks, thank you for the super sticker, brother. We appreciate you, D Blocks. D Blocks, we appreciate you. Jonathan Green, what's good? What's good? Hey, chat. So I am about to put the poll out here for you guys. And it's simple. It's as simple as yes or no. It's as simple as yes or no. Should the Knicks trade Julius Randle? Right?
Yo, Freezy, I got a take on Julius Randle.
Okay. So are you saying that you want to sway? You want to try to sway Knicks fans to either a yes or no, or is it just an independent random thought?
So I wouldn't say I'm trying to sway, but I'm just going to tell you my opinion. I do not believe we should trade Julius Randle, regardless of what we get. You know, if we get Donovan Mitchell or not, doesn't matter. In my opinion, I don't think we should trade him. One, because the contract is looking better as the years progress and the salary cap starts to increase for everybody. As the salary cap starts to go up for everybody, the contract versus the production looks pretty good. So in another year, even if we were to hold him for another year or two, I don't think the detriment to the development of the team is more than we can get later. Like in a year, he'll have 2 years left on the contract. The contract will be pretty good, and I'm hoping his production will be pretty much the same. And next offseason, we might be able to move him for a really good piece, a really good piece with some picks. And that's regardless of if we get Donovan Mitchell or not. So, I think holding the contract really ain't that bad. It doesn't look that bad. If you start looking at other people's contract numbers, he's getting paid less than he should, in my book.
Of course.
And that number is going to start to look even better a year from now. You know what I mean? Okay. Yeah. So I think the value of the trade a year from now is going to be significantly higher than what we would get right now today. And that's also considering I think he's going to have a much better year this year, even if we get Donovan Mitchell or not. I think he's going to have a better year.
All right. So for those that don't know, that for those that are new to the channel, what I do is the moderator is try to stay as close to center in the middle of these arguments as possible, without being heavy one way or heavy another, right? And so what I would say to the Randle thing, and I love Randle, right? I love Randle. I love Randle because he actually came here and earned his checks, right? We gave the same year we signed Julius Randle to $18 million. We signed Bobby Portis to $15 million. Did Bobby Portis earn his $15 million? Did Bobby Portis? Somebody got feedback, a little feedback. Did Bobby Portis become a borderline all-star player? No. The same year we signed Julius Randle to $18 million, we signed Marcus Morris to $15 million. Was Marcus Morris a borderline all-star player?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so.
I didn't. Maybe he was. That's just a question. There he is. Jersey City is in the building. What's good, boss? How you doing?
I'm good. Morning, fellas.
Morning.
What's happening?
Yeah, man. Good Sunday morning. Did you get a chance to hit a question? I saw you in the chat. Did you get a chance to hit a question?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'm not.
Actually, Freezer, before I want to just do one quick thing, if that's okay. Make a point, and then I'm also going to make an offer my spot, because I know you got some heavy hitters waiting to jump in, and we almost at the max 10 right now. So first, I'm make a quick little offer that if anyone is ready to roll in, that's big hitter. Not anyone, not like Uncle Fulio or anybody like that. I want someone smart and sharp. I'm just joking, but regarding Julius, I've said it before. His value to other teams is still up there. People don't necessarily see that. We on the value because of how he reacted to us last year, I think his value is high enough right now to get enough players out of him, and he will not improve in other teams' eyes. In a real basketball, like let's say scouts' eyes, he will not get much better this season, especially with the condition he's in, that they won't realize that he is valuable right now. So if we wait 6 months and he balls out again and he's not, reacting with an emotional outburst that we don't like, I don't think they're going to go, oh, that's one more first-round pick for him. Or I think that's his value is this. If we want to trade him now or 6 months from now, I don't think that's a reason not to trade him now. So that's what I want to say, because I'll trade him right now or 6 months. But personally, I wouldn't trade him because I want to see what the team looks like with him, Obi backing up. And I would only so I'd trade him because I don't want to stop Obi's growth. That's the only reasons I would do. I just want to throw that out there. And like I said, I'm married to arms. Jump off if you want to knock me out and bring another 10th player in the talks. Let me know, okay? Sorry, I just wanted to throw that out there.
We good. Hey, we good, Sarge. We need for you. I need for you to be here.
Okay,
because you like the balance. So what I'm saying. If you can hang out, then hang out, man. If you can't, man, that's cool. I understand. Because nobody can be.
I'm
Nobody can
Marine.
be.
I'm an intelligent army. I'm an intelligent military person.
So
intelligence.
First of all, let's not do the jumbo shrimp thing. Y'all know what I mean by jumbo shrimp, right? Let's not do the oxymoron. Is there such thing as a giant? How can you be a jumbo shrimp? Right? How can you be jumbo and shrimp at the same time, right? How can you be an intelligent Marine? I mean, I just don't get it. Hey, Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous contribution.
Okay.
Hey, Paris Duggar says, Ainge is trolling us about Mitchell, so let's chill. Okay.
I handed this one and two of the top.
So Paris Duggar says, Ainge is trolling us about Mitchell, so let's chill. Okay. I'm with you. I can do that. I can be patient. You know what I'm saying? My only deal is when you're patient, don't lead me astray. Right? Don't lead me astray in my patience. Like, don't have me go around the world and back again. And for those that don't know, Around the World is a basketball game I used to play at Bayside Park.
Me too.
And anybody know where Bayside Park is?
Yeah.
Stop it, Freeze.
Aha! Somebody does know where Bayside Park is. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. So yeah, Around the World is this game, man, just round and round. Man, listen, don't do that. If you're gonna go get Donovan Mitchell, just say, hey, listen, we working on it. It's taking a little bit more time than anticipated, and we just not there yet. It's like how when you got the cable guy coming to your house and he says, I'll be there sometime between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m.
Yeah.
So you got to stay home all day. And then
I hate when that happens.
I hate that.
And then he show up like 6:45 in a hurry.
8:30.
Yeah, 8:30 at night. In a hurry, right? Calling you at 7:45. Hey man, I got behind a little bit. Can I come back tomorrow? No, you ain't coming. No, I can't take this many days off from work. Are you crazy? You know what I'm saying? That's my only deal with the Donovan Mitchell thing. It's not that I'm impatient. Is that I don't like. You ever been to a parade? You know how the guys that have the horses lead the horses around by the thing, and the horses are just, let me go, just let me walk. And the guy's like, hey, bro, you can't. Well, you're a horse. You don't understand how parades go. How's a horse gonna understand the parade route, and the humans don't even know the parade route yet? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's one of them type of things, man. So I'm cool with being patient for Donovan Mitchell, but I just don't want to go through it's imminent, and then it's not.
You know what I think it is, Freezy? I think it's cold. I think it's cold feet, man. I think it's a little bit on both sides. Like I think Leon, I think they have been close a couple of times to pulling a trigger, but I think both sides are kind of nervous to pull that trigger. I think the closer we get to training camp, I think it's gonna become more like evident that they have to pull the trigger. But I think both sides are kind of playing hardball because of especially the Knicks. Leon, like there's gonna be public backlash to whatever move he makes. Like there's not one move Donovan Mitchell trade he can make that's gonna satisfy every Knicks fan.
No.
Half of the fan base is gonna hate him after the trade. So
well, Auntie, let me just say this before we get back onto the Julius Randle trade thing, right? The thing about this trade is, and this is the common misconception. The common misconception is that the return on both sides have to satisfy a group of people when it does not. The trade on both sides have to satisfy a goal, right? It has to satisfy a goal. It's we were looking for this so that we can do this going forward, right? And so that's the thing that the Knicks are doing. Like the Knicks are looking to satisfy the fans because the fans don't know what they're talking about. You know why? Because the fans ultimately don't know what the short-term goal is. They know what the long-term goal is. Everybody knows what the long-term goal is because all 30 teams have the same long-term goal. Jersey City, every team had the same long-term goal, right? Right? Yeah. That is to win an NBA championship, right?
No question.
Right, but what's the short-term goal, right? And so teams don't let you know what the short-term goal is because they don't want the other 29 front offices to be able to manipulate them. So you can't tip your hand, right? So I understand that. I understand that point.
And every trade goes like this. The only difference is every trade is not as public as this trade is. So think about all of the trades that you see happen that just pop out of nowhere. Right? Like, oh, I didn't even know these two teams were talking. Like those two teams probably were negotiating for 2-3 months, right? But we don't know that because it's not public. So I think a lot of these trade negotiations are this tedious and back and forth, and it's because of the profile of the player and the profile of the Knicks is so public. So we're not used to seeing a public trade dispute go down or trade negotiation go down in the public, and that's what's happening. So, like, you got to give it time, man.
Is it possible the deal is done already, and all this is just for drama and showtime? Because at the end of the day, it's all entertainment. You guys got to forget, and we are the New York Knicks. I know the office is masterminding things, and they're doing things slow and meticulous, but I do think that this deal may already be done, and they're just working out the little particulars, and it might even be, like I said, it might even be for showtime and drama for the NBA.
I think the hard part of the deal was done. I think both teams are trying to just get some sweeteners in there, like maybe add other teams in. Maybe I think Leon is trying to go back and forth on a specific player or a specific pick. But I'm the type, like, there's been too many credible people that have came out, you know, and said this thing is nearing the finish line for me to think that it's all false. So
stop that.
I think the hard work is done. I think, what do they say? The framework of
the framework of the deal is done.
Yeah. I think both teams are still not happy though.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I think that's what's keeping it back from being finalized. Like both teams are still not happy at the end of the deal. Like just one thing might be throwing it off for both teams.
Right.
I got a question. Do y'all think it's Leon Rose that's really being hesitant, or do you think it's like, which side do you think is really being hesitant?
I think it's the Knicks actually realize. No, I think it's the Knicks actually realizing that they finally have a young core that can actually, like, at this point, the Knicks roster can, like, what they have now, they can actually rebuild for a couple more years and be looking good. But then if they get Donovan, it's kind of like almost like a hard reset, because it's like you're gonna go to the playoffs, but how far are you gonna get you? And they're probably analyzing what move they can make after Donovan, and it's not adding up. So
I think,
on that level though, Donovan Mitchell is so young. He's part of, like, he could be part of that young.
He is,
yeah,
but they might not have
so young.
the picks and everything to really get who they want to get after Donovan comes, because Ainge might be trying to strip them. You know what I'm saying? So
and he's talking to Miami.
As of Friday, Alan Hahn on his blog said that the Knicks are not hesitant on the picks. The Knicks are hesitant on the players they want to send out.
So they acknowledge that their young core is good.
I'm telling
That's
you,
the last thing he heard.
I think Danny Ainge met his match. I think our boy is strategic, and he's thought this out.
Listen, you got to look at the narratives, right, to answer the question. You'll see on Twitter a lot of like the narrative is now from the Jazz side of things is, oh, we don't have to trade Donovan Mitchell, right? We're fine bringing him into the season, right? So I think Leon Rose is trying to call Danny Ainge's bluff.
I think so too.
Because Leon Rose is like, Danny, like, I know you don't want to bring Donovan into the season because we know you're trying to tank. But Danny Ainge is telling Leon Rose, we're not going to trade him unless you give us everything we want. So this is where the stalemate and the staring contest comes down, where Leon is like, well, I'm going to call your bluff. Let's get close to the training camp, and let's see if you really don't mind bringing him into the season. And then I think that's when we're going to see something happen, when somebody's going to blink before training camp happens. Whether it's Leon, whether it's Danny, somebody's going to blink.
Not even that, NG. Danny Ainge also hired a first-time head coach. He doesn't want that type of distraction for a first-time head coach.
Yeah.
Right. I can see that.
And it's funny because Knicks fans, right, like we went crazy when we traded all that stuff for Melo, and we was like, why didn't we just wait? We bid it against ourselves. And Leon is doing what we've been asking our front office to do. Right? Like,
how much do you think Dwayne Wade's involved in this?
Not much. He ain't.
None.
Hey, so let me address this super chat real quick. Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous contribution. Paris Duggar says Leon isn't giving away his youth. Is 6 picks or buy? I could see that.
I think it's an Obi thing, man. I really think it's an Obi thing. I think
Obi's the holdup, I think.
Yeah.
So if you think it's an Obi thing, answer Freezy's question. Julius Randle stays or goes.
And it's crazy because that was gonna be part of my response. Like, I don't want to see a team with Julius Randle and Obi Toppin both on it next season. If we're gonna trade for Donovan Mitchell and Obi's in the trade, I'm okay with Julius staying. If Obi's not in the trade, I think one of them have to go for the other one to really flourish. But like, I understand the point of we don't want to sell low on Julius. Like, so I get that point, and which is why I'm okay with keeping Julius Randle until the trade deadline, and then determining who do we want to build around at that 4th spot, Obi Toppin or Julius Randle. But I think at the trade deadline, that decision kind of has to be made, or we're kind of just wasting Obi Toppin, because if we're gonna keep Obi coming off the bench, what do we do when we have to pay him?
Not pay him.
But somebody's gonna pay him. So then
somebody's gonna pay him.
You would end up losing Obi Toppin for nothing, right?
But Angie, it'd be like the RJ Barrett conversation we had earlier this morning,
right?
Because what it's gonna come down to, and if everybody was being genuine with the way they described RJ Barrett, if it was their line of thinking and not just RJ Barrett, then you'll treat Emmanuel Quickley, Obi Toppin, Quentin Grimes, and all guys that follow, you'll treat them based on that line of thinking, and not just because it was RJ Barrett alone, a one-off, right? And so what I would say to this thing about Julius Randle, as a Knicks fan, think about this. As a Knicks fan, when's the last time a guy came here from another team, was never an all-star, and became a first-time all-star as a New York Knicks free agent?
I can't remember.
That was the COVID season, though.
Tyson Chandler, maybe? Was Tyson Chandler an all-star with the Mavericks?
Well, he was with the Mavericks before.
He was with the Hornets or the Pelicans or whatever.
The Pelicans, right? He was a Chicago Bull.
He wasn't an all-star though, right? I don't think.
No, he wasn't an all-star with the Chicago Bulls. He wasn't an all-star with the New Orleans Pelicans.
I think he might have been with the Pelicans. I think he might have been with the Pelicans. I'm not sure though.
Randall got his all-star game.
Well, he never played with the Pelicans.
That's not a real season, man.
What about Stoudemire?
He was the all-star way before the Knicks, man. For the Knicks.
Wait a minute, didn't Tyson Chandler play for the Pelicans or the Hornets or something?
No, yeah, he played for the New Orleans Hornets.
Hornets
Yeah,
with Chris Paul. Yeah.
Yeah, and David West. Of course.
Yeah, I think he was also that
defensive player
year.
of
I
the
might be
year?
wrong though.
Wasn't he a defensive player of the year also, or
Not until the Mavericks.
until the Mavs? Okay.
This is what I want to say about Julius, right? It's obvious that if they do get Donovan Mitchell, I believe that Obi it's a much cleaner fit next to Brunson and Donovan.
Yes.
But with that being said, I am a Knicks fan and I desperately want to win. And if Julius is right, the upside with our team, with Julius over Obi, it's much higher with Julius here. So I'm willing to go into the season to see if it works. Because if Julius is right, at his position, he's top 5. And for that kind of production, he's hella cheap. If we're going to keep it real.
And Jay, that's why there's no right answer, I don't think, to this, man. I truly don't think like there's a right answer. Like because if Julius Randle's gonna be here, then send Obi Toppin to Utah and get me Donovan Mitchell. And stop the hold up. If Julius Randle's gonna be here, then don't hold on to Obi Toppin. Go get me Donovan Mitchell.
Right.
If you don't plan on Julius Randle being here, then I understand Leon not wanting to include Obi. But one of those guys have to be our starting power forward. Either Julius Randle needs to be given that spot, or Obi Toppin needs to be given that spot, not having to look over his shoulder. I
agree with you. I selfishly want Obi here because he fits with that timeline with those guys, 25, 24, 23 years old. But I cannot deny the upside of our team with, if Julius gets right. I can't deny that.
Well, so let me ask y'all this: what does Obi Toppin do aside from dunk?
Besides dunk,
yeah,
runs the floor.
He's just a good transition player.
He's not even better than RJ Barrett in running the floor.
What about
and
defense?
RJ Barrett is not an athlete.
Defense, Freezy.
Obi play defense? Nah.
No.
Much?
Nah.
People watching the highlight reel. Obi highlight reel.
He forgot what that is, defense.
You know what I'll say what Obi does?
Obi's a smart basketball player.
I think Obi's Sean Marion potential. That's where I put Obi. Kind of like a Sean Marion
was
build.
A great defender.
He was a
great
defender,
Sean
bro.
Marion comparison.
That's who I see. I see Obi. I see Sean Marion. That's who he needs to become. Corner 3-ball slasher. 4-3 defender.
Yeah, but you see, Sean Marion came in the league able to defend 3 positions. Obi, he's not going to ever be that. What I do say that Obi does better than everybody else on our team is he applies effort every single plays on the court. And if you have that over 40 minutes, he's a hustle player. Like you have that over 40 minutes, he may be making mistakes and in the wrong spot, but he's going 100%. He's like Michael Irvin. He's 100%.
He's a momentum builder too. With those dunks. Those dunks can break games. They can kill morale.
Guys, isn't basketball chemistry?
No, he's not Sean Marion.
And if that's the case,
but that's his build.
Obi Toppin is much more Al Harrington than Sean Marion.
Al Harrington was a baller, though.
Yeah, that's not bad.
No, that wasn't a knock on Al Harrington. I'm just saying, like, on a defensive end.
Man, Obi Toppin is Anthony Randolph.
Get out of here.
Let's be real right now, right at this moment, that don't project his career, because what Knicks fans do is they say what Randall is right now in the moment and won't project how good Randall can be, but then at the same time project what Obi can be and not say what he can do in the moment.
That's a good point.
Let me ask you this, Freeze. Could Obi Toppin be Rashawn Holmes? Could Obi Toppin be Rashawn Holmes?
No, let me finish my thing.
Okay.
First of all, no. Rashawn Holmes is tough.
Rashawn Holmes 6'10". Obi Toppin could be
So Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous contribution. Paris Duggar says Tyson Chandler, Allen Houston, Amari were all stars. I agree. I agree with that. And the Queen says people like Obi because he's the anti-Randall.
Exactly.
When you ask about Obi's skill set alone, it's a short conversation.
That's a great super chat.
And I agree. And thank you for that, Queen. I was just about to get to, because I saw where you put it in the chat earlier. I was just about to get to it. But then Sally said Rashawn Holmes.
Why
and
not?
it just sent me
Why
off
not?
a cliff.
Rashawn Holmes 6'10", 235. Obi Toppin 6'9", 220. Why not? Why can't Obi Toppin be Rashawn Holmes instead of trying to play the 4?
Because Rashawn Holmes,
Right, because I'm the same size as Julius Peppers. Does that make me Julius Peppers?
Well, basketball is a little different than football. You're not going against me.
I'm the same size as Julius Peppers.
You're saying he can't shoot. The only thing he can do is dunk. And I'm just saying, if he can only dunk, then why not play him at the 5? That was my
and just for the mere fact that you keep repeating that, Sally, means that you don't have confidence in that thing that you just said. I'm telling you.
No, I'm just rebuttaling what you said, Freezy. All I'm saying is, if he's a 6'9" player that can't shoot, like you said that. You said that.
You said that already.
Why would you not try the experiment of a small ball lineup like Rashawn Holmes? Because Rashawn Holmes is a 5 because he can't shoot.
Because Obi can't.
No. So first, let's go. Now hold on, everybody. Wait a minute.
I'm trying to help Obi out.
Right. So if you help Obi get on the backboard. Right. So here's the thing. Here's the thing with Rashawn Holmes. Rashawn Holmes is a center, but he's a shorter center than the 7-footers.
Right.
Obi Toppin is the prototype power forward size. He's got everything you want physically from a power forward. 6'9", 220, jump out the gym. But here's the things you don't get from Obi. Rebounding, rim protection,
post play.
The dude legit couldn't post up Trae Young on Christmas Day. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember the Christmas
when I
Day
saw
game?
that. I cried a little bit when I saw that. Yeah.
When Obi Toppin tried to post up Trae Young, he couldn't.
I cried.
Trae Young is in my opinion, he's the equivalent to an R&B singer. It's like could Obi post up
Elder Bard.
Yeah. Can Obi post up? Can Obi post up Omarion? No.
Elder Barnes.
Right. Obi can't post up Omarion or Ray J, bro. Obi is not that guy. That's what I'm saying about Rashawn Holmes. I understand where you're going, but in this case, the thing with size is because Obi's taller than Robert Williams, right? Are they the same height? They about the same size.
So is Kevin Looney 6'9".
Right. But are we saying that Obi Toppin can play center like Robert Williams and Kevon Looney?
We don't know.
No, I know. He's not strong enough, bro.
We know.
You can work on
Obi
that. So let me ask you this.
Obi can set a good pick, though. Better than
he said no.
Can Obi get better? Can Obi get better?
Obi can't even pick his teeth.
He can't even pick his nose.
Can Randall get better?
Obi can't even pick his nose, right?
Can Randall get better?
If Freeze, I believe this was a conversation. I want you to know that, but I just have a question back to that. What's going to be easier for Obi to develop, boxing out and rebounding, or shooting? Which one do you think he can become an expert at over the next 5 or 3 years?
Expert? I don't think.
If you want
better at, he's saying better at. He's saying better.
If you want him to play for the New York Knicks to be the starting 4, and you want to win the Eastern Conference Finals, you better look at the other team's stretch force. Because it ain't even there, bro. Your competition is so far. Obi Toppin's guarding Giannis on the court, bro. That's not happening. Now Obi Toppin,
he's not guarding Giannis.
Right, but he's the 4. Now you got Obi Toppin versus Brook Lopez.
You know what I think, Sally? We have to, and this is what I think is happening. We know what Julius can do, right? And we kind of are kind of bored with what he can do and excited
Julius
with
gotta
what
go, man.
But but hear me out. Like we get excited or we fall in love with the unknown, right? And we get bored with what we do know, right? Right now we know Julius is a better basketball player than Obi Toppin, but we get excited and fall in love with what we haven't seen yet. Right?
And will always be a better basketball player than Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin will never be as good as Randall.
So then Obi will never be as good as Randall. What is Knicks fans' rationale for?
Because I think
chemistry is a rationale.
There you go. 100%. We're trying to build a basketball team. We're not trying to build a skills camp.
Exactly.
Julius Randle worked out with Kobe. Julius Randle came from a different background than like. We're not. This ain't a skills camp. Julius Randle is not good for a Finals NBA team. It just does not work. He's not. It's not going to work for him.
Do we know how old Obi Toppin is?
So you got to play him at
I
the
think he's 25 now.
Okay, so Obi Toppin and Julius Randle.
He'll be 25. He'll be 25 next March.
Obi Toppin and Julius Randle are in the same age bracket. Right. 2 years in age is not a big gap in the NBA.
But what age did Julius Randle get drafted?
But listen,
at 19, that's not Julius Randle's fault.
We gotta stop blaming.
How was that? But how was that Randle's fault that Obi Toppin was not good enough out of high school to be a one and done? That's not Randle's fault. And why is it that? How is it Randle's fault that when Obi Toppin went to Dayton and played his first year, he was not good enough to come out of that 1 year at Dayton? He had to stay a second year. That again is not Randle's fault, man. What I'm getting at, just please let me finish. I just want to finish my point. I understand everybody passionate about the point. Let me remind people to go out and let your voice be heard in the poll that we have available on YouTube. I think we have less than 200 people that have voted thus far. Make sure you go out there and have your voice be heard. Should Randle be traded? Yes or no? Right? We just kept it ultra simple. Let me do this. Let me adjust this super chat just real quick. Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous contribution. Paris Duggar says, wrong. Obi floor presence and energy and ability to score with his movement off ball. He puts himself in a scoring advantage by reading plays and hits threes now. That's something we saw towards the end of the season, right? But we hadn't seen that over the past 2 seasons. There is a very small sample size of about 7 games in the season when we all knew the season was over, when we were disqualified from the playoffs and everybody was tanking that Obi did it. Now, with that said, is it hard to do that in the NBA? Yes, it's hard to do that in the NBA. So I'm not saying one way or the other. I'm not saying Obi was a fluke, and I'm not saying that Obi is the GOAT. What I'm saying is when you keep it closer to the middle, right, about what Obi does have potential, right? But what type of potential is that?
Right.
You have to be honest with yourself.
And
you can't say Obi is the good. You can't say, I thought Obi was going to be Sean Kemp. And then he get to the NBA, he played like Tyra Kemp.
Yeah.
Right?
Tyra Kemp, that's going to hold you tight.
Yeah.
Do you think Obi is better than Bobby Portis?
No.
We're quick to say Obi Toppin is a better fit in this lineup than Julius Randle, right? But my question to the panel is he the optimum fit? Right? Because in my opinion, the optimum fit for that lineup with Donovan Mitchell is an athletic 4 that can stretch the 4 and guess what? Defend. We need another perimeter defender out there. So is Obi really the best option for that lineup?
Or you basically described Jaren Jackson Jr.
Right, but I'm saying, like, are we just quick to get rid of Julius Randle? Because sometimes I feel like we search and dig for the things that Obi brings. Like, we bring up things like energy and good teammate, and like we really reach to find these things that he brings. But when it comes to Randle, we act like we don't understand.
But what about the transference of energy, Angie? Because energy is one thing, right? I mean, he brings energy. But the thing is, Angie, we want to know what the energy translates into. What production does energy translate into? Right? Does it translate into being the 18th best defender in the NBA? Does it translate into being a double-digit rebounder? Well, guess what
he needs to do?
Guess what? You know who that person is I just described?
Julius Randle.
And that's why I say I didn't want to give up the upside of our team to trade away Julius over Obi.
Let me ask you this:
But
is Julius Randle?
If way the team is, no, it's all good. The way the team is being constructed, if we do land Donovan, you see the shift going to the backcourt with more playmaking. That's why I want to see how it would work with Julius. But we cannot deny that with that shift, Obi complements them a little bit better for the simple fact that he doesn't really need the ball to have an impact on the game, or he's just low maintenance in regards to he's not gonna ask for touches. But overall talent, we'll be lucky if Obi ever gets to Julius's level. If we're being honest,
Guys, I've listened to you guys a couple of weeks ago when Kyrie Irving was available. And I sat back and listened to you guys. A lot of you guys said y'all would not take Kyrie.
No.
Kyrie is probably the most skilled player in the game. Right. And the reason you guys said you wouldn't take Kyrie was because of his issues that he brings to the game. Right. So you same guys are sitting here defending Julius Randle. And I'm not saying Obi is the answer. I would like to see if he is. But you same guys are defending Julius Randle as if he's the second coming. But you wouldn't take Kyrie, who we know is a winner. We know is a champion.
Is he?
Julius Randle played all 82 games. Julius Randle played all 82 games.
That's fine. I want to hear your reasoning. I want to hear your reasoning behind defending Julius Randle when his chemistry throws the entire team off. This is not an individual game.
You're right.
And I feel like 20, 10, and 5. So what? You can get that production from a team. One player doesn't have to give that production. We keep saying Obi this, Obi
I'll be right back, y'all. I'm gonna go off the screen. I'm gonna search for the guys that are 20, 10, and 5 right now.
I got an answer to that.
Listen.
James Harden.
And also, if you're the guy, if they make you the guy, no matter how bad you are, you're going to be able to put up points. Rebounding is about efforts. Just like they force RJ into the lineup, they force RJ to be this guy that he's not. Same thing with Julius. He did it for 1 year, and now you guys are defending him as if he's the end all be all. We can win without him.
No, but Chilltown. So first of all, I'll say this: Julius's quote unquote toxicity has been overstated at this point. One,
He's the James Harden power forward, bro. He's a James Harden power forward. So you can't say anything else. He jacks shots. He gets easy ass rebounds. He brings the ball up slow. He is the James Harden of the four. So
that's not answering his question though. So listen. So
that's what he is.
So wait. Hold on. Sally, wait a minute.
What?
He's the James Harden of the four?
He is James Harden.
There are franchises. There are franchises out there right now that would trade their entire young core for James Harden right now.
They don't win. They don't win, Freezy. Those franchises are all about selling them tickets, baby. It's all either about the money or the winning. Either you have a winning culture and you build it,
Fame,
or you'd have a team. You have a good product. The 76ers are not going to the finals next year. They're not going with James Harden.
I'll take that because that means we're going. I mean, I would.
You're not going. Boston is in the finals. Everyone is like, I don't understand why anyone is in this phase that anyone in the East is going to compete with Boston. I don't even understand.
Wait. Milwaukee could get to
Milwaukee's
the
not competing with Boston.
Milwaukee would have won the championship if Chris Middleton was healthy this year. I guarantee you.
How do you know that? You don't know that. We don't know
they
that.
won it last year.
Well, we don't know that. We can't say in facts. Like you can say you think they won, but you don't know.
Said in facts that nobody is getting though. Last year,
you just said Boston's gonna moonwalk to the finals next year. That's not the case, bro. I'm telling you, if Chris Middleton was healthy, the Bucks would have won the championship.
And I don't want to spend a lot of time on Boston. That's my opinion, right?
Sully. Before last season, would you have said Boston was going to the finals before?
Yes, Boston was my favorite.
No, we wouldn't.
Yes, I would have.
No, you wouldn't.
Boston was my favorite, man. Tatum and Brown.
And go to BostonPeers.org or whatever and talk over there. We talking about the Knicks over here.
I'm just saying, like, the Knicks fans need a. I'm just trying to say is what phase you're in. Like that, Julius Randle is in that level of competition that you're going to be playing against to compete to go to the finals. Julius Randle is going to get eaten up against the Bucks or Boston.
But I want to answer Chilltown's question. I want to answer Chilltown's question. So, the difference between Kyrie and Julius Randle is people's biggest issue with Kyrie is not when he's on the court. People's biggest issue with Kyrie is that he's not on the court. That's with Kyrie Irving. So when Kyrie Irving is on the basketball court, he's not a toxic player. He's not. if Knicks fans knew that Kyrie Irving would play 72 games, no Knicks fan would say, "Oh, I don't want him." His issue is you can't rely on him, right? And the Julius Randle being this toxic teammate and bad guy and toxic player is overstated. It was one season. The season before that, he changed the entire culture of the team
of the
and led us to
organization.
a
Yeah.
4th seed. So you can't just overstate last year and ignore the year before. Does Julius have warts? Does he have flaws? Yes. But we cannot act like he's this toxic player that you can't possibly have on your team if you want to win. Like, that is overstating it at that point. Julius Randle was not freaking, I don't know.
Okay. We got you. But let me address the super chat real quick. Yes, Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous contribution. Paris Duggar says RJ and Julius's defense is criminal. Stop the Obi crap. Paris Duggar, you're wrong about RJ and Julius defense, bro. I'm not gonna put their stuff on the screen, but Julius Randle's defense is better and historically better as a Knick than what people give him credit for. That's one of the narratives that people create because they hate Julius Randle, right? Yeah. But if you want to debate that, I can put up Julius Randle's stuff on the screen where the year before last, he was the 8th best defender in the league. And last season, the season that just passed, he was the 18th in a down season. 18th out of 470 players, he was 18th best, right? And don't ask me to pull up Obi because don't embarrass yourself by wanting me to pull up Obi top in defensive rating. Because if we pull up this Obi rate, listen, I'm not gonna pull it up because I don't want to bash Obi. I like Obi, but this Saint Obi stuff has gone too far. That's crazy. Obi is not Saint Obi. Come on, man, this is ridiculous. Every day we get up here, it's like yo. Prince Obi is the this is not Wakanda, bro, or whatever. This is Knicks basketball, man.
He had all this Obi talk.
Julius,
can I say
Julius Julius caused these problems. Yeah, Julius has caused these. That's why we're talking about Obi because right. Julius is a cancer. It's not Obi's fault. It's Julius.
Hold on. Yeah. Let me say this about.
My man's right.
Let me say this about the situation real quick.
Welcome to Zamunda.
They both low key fit the system. Like they both low key fit. 2010 and 5 with a team with Donovan Mitchell and RJ and Brunson. That where you getting at? That's one. Two, Obi fits if Randle is traded because. If with 30-35 minutes, I believe that he could get us maybe 12 and 8, and that's all we need him to do. We don't need him to do any of that stuff. We don't need him to get 20, 10, and 5. And if Randle 20, 10, and 5 is hard to get on any level, so why wouldn't we want that with Randle and the other guy? So I mean, I think they both could fit. It's just a matter of who they choose at this point.
So
let's go get Russell Westbrook if all we want's 20, 10, and 5. Let's go get Russell Westbrook.
Exactly.
I mean, who cares?
Yeah, but that costs $44 million.
Yeah, but
let's look at the money too, bro.
He's got elite stats. We got to get him. Who cares about the money?
But why y'all keep trying to bash 20, 10, and 5?
Donovan Mitchell, he can only score 30.
Because 20, 10, and 5 is not end all be all.
Right. But why you keep trying to bash 20, 10, and 5?
I'm not bashing it, but you're acting like that wins championships.
Okay, but 20, 10, and
championships.
All right, but let me finish.
20, 10, and 5 got a championship for Randle?
No. Oh, wait. Okay. Let's keep some things in perspective. So for one, saying 20, 10, and 5 winning the championship is like those narratives that we've been talking about. What about the roster and the coaching staff? Does that have anything to do with it?
Was there 20, 10, and 5 on the Warriors? Is there a 20, 10, and 5 on the Warriors?
But 20, 10, and 5 by yourself is a different.
Wait. Yeah. Let me get something.
Ask me the question. I want the question answered.
You don't want me to answer that question, bro.
Why not? 25 on the Warriors.
Because I tried to dodge the question because the question made no sense. You just asked me, do the Warriors have a 20, 10, and 5? Right? But what if I told you this year's Warriors had a roster full of 3-time NBA champions on it and 2 Hall of Famers.
Freezy,
Moonwalk. No. Don't moonwalk off the question. Because you asked a question out of context. No, you asked a question that was dumb and it was out of context.
That's an opinion. That's not the answer to the question.
No,
do the Golden State Warriors have 2010 and 5?
Because I'm asking, I'm saying to
because
you,
that's what y'all keep saying in front of defense for Randall.
Because that's
all
his
that's
numbers.
Well, it's hard to duplicate the numbers. Those numbers don't mean nothing, bro.
Yeah, but 2010 and 5 by itself is totally different than 2010 and 5 with a great roster.
And it's crazy asking a question like that
Mr.
when the Golden State
Thank
Warriors
you.
won
That
the
was
championships
what
with
I was
that.
trying to get to.
But I'm for Randall, and I'm for Randall and Obi. But my opinion is 2010 and 5 with a great roster and a great coaching staff is different than 2010 and 5 by itself.
That's what I'm saying.
Thank you, Mr. Freezy. Now, can I?
Wait.
Hey, Sully, you got to you got to share the microphone, bro. Share the mic. Let Angie go.
There's layers of my questions.
Hey, what you mentioned before was very fishy. You said you had Boston going to the chip this year. How?
Jason Tatum's 2010 and 5.
Nah, man.
If you're going to ask me a question, you got to give me a chance to answer because that's got to be.
Y'all can't ask the man a question and then not let him answer.
And then everyone laughs and then carries on. Like,
answer it, please. What made you believe that they were going to the championship?
Jaylen Brown is better than Jason Tatum. Jaylen Brown.
Hey, let the man finish, please, because I got him.
Listen, at the end of the day, that was what I saw. That's when, and I'll be honest with you, Jay. Let me be totally transparent. I did not make that call until after All-Star break.
Okay, cool. So let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
Right.
2020, they lost to the Miami Heat.
Jay, did he finish? Sally, you finished?
Well, I just want to make sure Jay knows that I did not make the call in full transparency until after the All-Star break. I said that's my ECF.
When they got hot, right?
Yeah, that's my representative in the.
So then I'm gonna sit down because I was ready to flame him, but I'll let him be.
But so let me ask you this question, Sally. So you are poo-pooing what Julius Randle did last year, right? The year before, when he had better numbers,
it's not about poo-pooing him.
Wait. The year before, when he had better numbers,
you just blamed him for something. Blamed him for something, though, Angie.
My
man is in the building. City for real. Bam! City for real. What's good? That's my man. The Knicks at Night podcast. There he is. Nah. City for real. City for real was good. Lawrence Tiz legend was good. Was good. Go ahead, Angie. My bad.
But so did Julius Randle's numbers the year before mean anything?
All right. Let me answer.
When y'all ask him a question, let him finish.
Let me answer your question, and let me go back to why I asked the question about the 2010 and 5. Okay? On championship rosters, if you have your number 4 position getting 2010 and 5, you're probably not going to win many playoff games because it's easy.
What about Jason Tatum? What about Jason Tatum? Literally same stat.
Randall and Jason Tatum are not the same guy. I don't care.
But you talk about the stats. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but you talk about the stats. You just said Boston is your favorite. Jason Tatum literally is 25, 8, and 4.5.
But
it's 2010 and 5.
But no, Sully, I don't understand your point. You're saying that somebody can't average 20, 10, and 5 on a championship team?
But you also said Boston is the best in the East right now and is going to the championship.
The best in the East. Yeah.
And they have a player that averages 20, 10, and 5 or 28
Man, are we
and 4.5.
talking about what type of rebounds are we talking? I mean, get off this 10. The 10 makes it look a lot better because I watch basketball all the time, many different teams. Luka will have 15 rebounds and like 9 of them will just be rebounds from a free throw. Like
I'm just talking about the stat line. You said a 2010-5 guy is not going to get you to a championship, but at the same time, you have Boston with a 2010-5 guy getting to a championship.
But no,
it's hard to gauge those two things. It's hard to square that.
I can't.
And the year before, Greek Freak did it, but oops, my bad.
And they won the championship.
We ain't going there, bro. We're not doing that.
Well, what you're saying is just not true, man, about the 2010 and 5. It's just not a real thing.
The numbers themselves are not getting you there. Okay, that'll pretty much.
What did Andrew Wiggins average in the NBA Finals?
Your average, the numbers by themselves are not going to get you there. Just
but
because
nobody
you have
said
that
that it
production doesn't
would.
mean it's the championship.
Yeah, but it's also not gonna not get you there. Your statement was that 2010
it's
five
more
guys
than likely
don't
not to
get you a
there because
championship.
there's a lot more teams out there with a 2010 and 5 guy than there are in the championship. Harden's a 2010 and 5. Westbrook's a 2010 and 5. We can start putting De'Aaron Fox up there, the 2010 and 5. Now that Halliburton's gone, we could put Luke up there, 2010 and 5. We could put a lot of players up there that are those immaculate players. Jimmy Butler could be a 2010 and 5 guy if he wanted to.
But
Bam
Sully,
sounds like
could
you're
be
biased.
wait a minute. But Sully, we're not asking Julius Randle to be our best player on a championship team.
Fair enough.
Wait a minute. So that is where what you're saying is getting confusing. Because you said he can't compete on a championship level, and I don't understand that logic. We're not asking him to be the number one option
Randle
on a
can
championship.
compete on a championship roster like Al Horford.
In his role, yes,
that's who
please
he
let
is.
me please let me have this.
Did you
Please
just
let
say
me have
Al
this.
Horford? In his role, yes, he can.
Please let me have this. Hey, Sully, check this out. 2020, you guys went to the Eastern Conference Final against Miami, and y'all lost 4-3.
I'm not a Boston fan, by the way. Just let everyone know.
You sure? I'm just laying down the groundwork because you want to bring
I'm
up
talking
Boston.
basketball. I'm not talking
2021. Boston was a playing team, made the playoffs, and then got the beats break off of them by the Nets. So from 2020 to 2021, did your opinion change of Jason Tatum?
I think Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are on the level of Kawhi and PG.
Okay,
And
but you didn't listen to what I asked you. From 2020 to 2021, did your opinion change because they went from the Eastern Conference Finals to a playing team? Did your opinion change? Did those 2010 and 5 not matter the way you're predicting Julius doesn't matter now?
None of them matter. Yeah, no, it doesn't matter.
Okay, so then come to this year, the narrative changed because they played better. So let's give Julius a chance to play better.
You're wasting your time with Julius Randle, bro.
Again, that's your opinion, but I just laid down
Yo, dude,
groundwork
just say
for
you don't like Julius Randle. That's the only argument here, because none of your points make any sense.
I
Not
like
you.
Julius Randle on a different team.
Sully,
I don't like
Julius
Julius
Randle was on the
with all those
Celtics.
young dudes.
Yo, if you think that Obi is going to be better than Randle, you're going to be severely disappointed. And when he's bussing, and when he busses Obi's ass every time we meet, you're gonna be mad.
Family show. No,
if Julius
Randle, it's fans like you that have an
It's good for the
emotional
TV
attachment.
to have someone pushing back. By the way, it's always good for shows to have someone pushing. And we're doing a show, right? This is a show. So entertainment first.
This ain't no show. A show is program.
Okay.
This not a show. This is a barbershop.
Like freezing, yeah.
So for the record,
this is live.
This is Sell Next Day. I call him Selly for short because I just don't feel like saying Sell Next Day every time. You know what I'm saying? I call his name. So it's not Sully like he's sullying up. We calling him Selly.
You sure?
Yes.
Well, he's selling Julius Randle down the river right now. I'll tell you that.
Who's got the better four right now? John Collins or Julius Randle? Who's the better four?
That's debatable.
Julius Randle.
Julius Randle is better than John Collins.
Who's the better four?
Julius Randle is the better four. I say
Get your emotions out of it. Get your emotions out of it and just look at the talent, bro. Get your emotions. I know you don't. You probably was one of the fans that didn't like Randle from the time he wasn't KD that Mills promised you, and you never stopped disliking Randle. Even when he had
a point about John Collins, I can make. If I can make a point about John Collins, that'll just end this conversation. If you look at Trae Young being able to shoot the ball from 43 feet away from the hoop and the attention the defense requires to stop somebody from doing that, Julius Randle had a shooter that could shoot from 40 feet away from the hoop. He would be one-on-one every possession and dominate his matchup.
Basically, he's saying, is Alec Burks Trae Young? Is Alec
Burks
on the team? Absolute no. Like,
who else on our team is getting triple team? Dude, one-on-one, you not stopping Randle in the paint. Obi is not that guy.
Can I ask Sully a question that's gonna it's gonna cause a black hole to form because it's gonna throw his reality into like a wormhole. His brain's not gonna be able to put these two together, right? If Julius Randle was on the Celtics, could they win a championship?
Of course.
Yes.
So Julius Randle can be on a championship team.
Now let me answer that. Because you try to box
20, 10, and 5.
Hold on. You're only giving me one option to answer. You got to give me multiple because I'm going to answer. I'm going to take what you said, and I understand the box you did. But hold on for a second. Julius Randle in the Boston Celtics is the fourth scoring option.
He's the fourth scoring option on the Knicks with Donovan Mitchell.
If Julius Randle,
I think
he's going to score more than Jalen Brunson. If Jalen Brunson is scoring more than Julius Randle, you're not. Well, that's not good. That's not good, bro.
Julius Randle is the third or fourth option on the Knicks.
He's the second. If you get Donovan Mitchell, he's the second.
No, he would. If we get Donovan and Spider, he'll be the second.
If Donovan Mitchell come right now, Julius Randle is your first scoring option. He is not your second or third. He is your first.
Are you serious?
You said it the most. You guys have just.
So what happened to all those games? That that RJ last season, that RJ when they gave RJ the keys and he was actually taking more shots than Julius. What happened to that?
I don't know what to tell you. Did you win? How's your record?
Yeah, you don't know what to tell me because your emotions is talking. You don't like the guy. Nobody can argue that. You don't like the guy. You don't like the guy. Wait, let me talk. You don't like the guy. You don't like the guy, and that's the point. That's the standpoint that you're making your evaluations from.
I don't dislike him. I do not dislike Julius Randle at all.
I agree with him.
You don't like him for the Knicks roster. Is that what you're saying?
Correct.
Okay, so if you don't like him for the Knicks roster, hold on a minute. If you don't like him for the Knicks roster, that's not Julius Randle.
But the points that he's making don't make any sense, though.
Julius Randle is a great player, providing what he can with the situation he's in. 20, 10, and 5 is great numbers, regardless of the stats or not. That is production in the NBA. There are not 10 power forwards that can check Julius Randle one-on-one.
I think it's easy to score in the NBA. It's not.
It's not.
It is.
It's not.
Tyler Hero.
So to come away with an average of 20 of them things a night.
Leading the point and Alec Burks at point, and you're a 4. That's not meant to dribble the ball like he's being forced to.
Tyler Hero.
He's doing things outside of his skill set, bro.
You put Julius Randle next to the level of talent like Brunson and Spider. There is nobody else on the team besides Rose who can match that talent.
Jalen Brunson is not an all-star point guard, bro.
Okay. Yo, let me get.
I'm not talking about all-star. I'm talking about the level of the. I'm talking about the level of play. The level of play.
Let's Sergeant trying to get in for a minute.
Okay, so here's Sully's point. I'm going to argue for and against it. Sully, I think you have a valid point. 20-5 really is not a factor because it can be redistributed to other players in a manner that still accomplishes the same overall goal as a team. So yes, he has a valid point that Julius Randle is not a critical cog based on that alone. It can be redistributed. We can give RJ 2 more rebounds. Mitch can probably get 4 of those offensive that Randle is grabbing that he probably could leave alone because we're gonna have Obi running out, and that goes to Mitchell instead of Randle, who sits back and slows the game down. So the valid argument he has about 20-5 not being necessarily essential for anyone to have is valid, but he's arguing with comparing
Warriors. Right. I understand what you're saying, Sarge. So what you're saying is instead of having 2 dogs, you want to replace them with 5 cats. I got you.
No,
I got you. Yo, replace a dog with multiple cats. I got you.
And
I got you. But where I'm from, is you want dogs with you.
And listen,
you want them go-getters. You want them hitters. That's what you want when you go to battle. You don't want the dudes that are gonna you don't want the guys that are gonna try to you don't want guys that try to beat you up with paperwork. Like the dudes that beat you with paperwork.
I'm the king of not letting people get out of what they said because Sarge, what you just said is one thing, right? But Sully said a little bit more than that. Sully said that
his argument is that.
Sully said that Julius Randle. Sully said that Julius Randle cannot compete on a championship level. And that's the overarching statement.
What?
That's wrong.
I never said that.
Oh, you literally said that a 20-5 guy is not bringing you to a championship. That is what you said, dude.
You are defining Julius Randle as 6 of those rebounds coming off of free throws.
What Sully said was Julius Randle will never win a championship with the Knicks. That's
and
what
he
Shelly
said
was
that a
saying.
2010-5 guy doesn't win championships.
That's
That's
what he
not
said.
How many does
correct.
Russell
Yeah.
Westbrook
He said
have?
at the 4 position. He said
Yeah.
a 2010-5 guy at the 4 position.
Now, and he
And then
also
you look
said,
at
well, how many?
Giannis and you look at Jason Tatum
a
right
lot. It's
there.
a
Look
lot
at
of.
two
Look at
competitors
Russell
right now.
Westbrook. The numbers aren't in your favor, bro. The numbers are against you. There's more players that average 20, 10, and 5 that have not won a ring than that has.
There's more
Yeah,
players that
because
have
there's
not
more
won rings
players
than
in
that have.
general that have not won a ring than has.
Yeah,
That's
My
not
argument
a
is what makes Julius special.
Wait. Hey, so y'all just throwing out stuff, and half of the stuff is not factual, and some of it's not relevant, right? What we want to do listen. The 2010 and 5 thing is a small group, right?
It's random.
It's Randall, it's Giannis, it's Jokic, and if you
LeBron.
round up the rebounds, it's Luka.
Jason Tatum's got 8
And
boards,
DeJounte
4.5
Murray.
assists,
DeJounte
and over
Murray.
20. It's
Don't
right
forget
there.
about him, Freezy, DeJounte Murray, and Josh Giddey, because he's going to be he could be 20, 10, and 5 easy. So what would happen when Josh Giddey's 20, 10, and 5?
I'm not
going
speculating. What I went by was the ESPN stats from last season.
I hear you.
I didn't go off potential. I went.
But Josh Giddey's coming. Josh Giddey's going to be 20,
right,
10,
but
and 5.
that's not the point. The point I'm making is the source I used was ESPN.com.
I got
the stats from last season.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of guys with that potential, but only a few guys will realize it. Right? I'm not knocking Josh Giddey. He's gonna be a fine player. What I'm saying in this moment right here, though, when we say 20, 10, and 5, it's only a small group.
So let me
one of the guys in that group is a former MVP and NBA champion.
Oh, your chat. Recognize the chat down there with Keyshawn Freezy. Siakam 22, 9, and 5.
Add one more number. How many offensive rebounds does Randall have? Offensive defensive. What's his dominant rebound?
I just never knew 2010 and 5 is such a bad stat to have.
Right.
Man,
we ain't
playing fantasy basketball, bro. This ain't fantasy basketball. You're talking about winning a championship.
We have gotten to the point.
Hold on. Let's do what we gotta do.
Hold on, y'all. So I'm gonna have to moderate and bring one person on at a time. I didn't want to do this because I really don't like. I like the passion of the conversations and stuff. But when we get to a point where everybody talking all over each other, bro, it just sounds like garbage on the joint, right? So the realist says, so Westbrook is a cancer and Julius isn't. Yo, what do you say to that, bro? Ain't nothing you can really to say to that, right? So I'm just gonna go in a order. Hey, Morocco Joe, what's good, bro?
What's happening, Freezy?
Bro, it's chaos in here, bro.
I love it though, man. The energy is up. I feel like it's a bunch of Obies on the panel right now. Energy is high right now.
The energy is high, and the poll right now with 215 votes is 55% yes, trade Julius Randle, 45% no, don't trade Julius Randle, right? And let me get the super chat real quick. So Eddie F, thank you for the generous contribution. Eddie F says, not enough super chats today. Help your uncle out. Randall, good player, bad leader. Hard to imagine he isn't motivated to be a good citizen and play team ball. And you know what? That's an excellent super chat there, right? Because what he says is hard to imagine he isn't motivated to be a good citizen. When have we ever, Morocco Joe, have you ever heard anything about Julius Randle being a bad citizen?
No, and I think so. I don't know who said it in the panel, but he kept saying over and over again that him being a bad teammate is overstated. And that's correct, man. He's definitely, you got to look at the weight of the situation he was put in. He was forced to play similar to Alec Burks, a little bit out of position, being a point forward. He's not a point forward by design, but I tell you what he is. He's a dog, man. And I do think Tibbs overplayed his minutes, and that's why you see the lack of effort on defense. He cannot play 40 minutes a game. He should not be playing 40 minutes a game, and that's where you get those points in the game.
See, that's another thing that's how do you say the 18th best defender in the NBA is lack of effort on defense?
Because there's a bunch of highlights of him being exhausted and walking back.
I understand that. I understand that, man. I understand that part because that right there is understated. I think we should point to that more, right? The fact that Randall can't even go to the bench to take a blow because his backup power forward is not impactful.
Yeah. I mean, to put it straight, it's not just the backup power forward. It's when he goes off the floor. You can look at plus minus stats. You can look at whatever you want to look at, but it's obvious the flow of the game does speed up. But that doesn't always. It's not always more efficient. It's just a faster game. That doesn't always make it more efficient. So like when Randall does take a seat, it becomes, there's points in the game where it gets very bad for us. At least last season, it got very bad for us, and he had to come back right back into the game. So you got 40 minutes a game. My man is not built to play 40 minutes a game, and you can see there's a bunch of highlights of him walking back because this is the 36th minute he's played, probably the 15th minute straight. He's exhausted. There's a lot of highlights of him walking back, which makes it look like he's a bad defender, but in reality, he's tired.
Right. No, I feel you on that. What I wanted to do is get your opinion on a couple of things. Like, how good do you think this kid Obi Toppin can be? How good can Obi be eventually?
Yeah, so I think at the top end, he could be an Amari-like player. But if you look at Amari Stoudemire, it required that he have a Hall of Fame level point guard to play with him. Now, if you were to provide Obi with a Hall of Fame level point guard, I think that he would jump out the gym. Pick and roll would be ridiculous, and he would be, a savage. But I think as the roster stands right now, even if you move Julius, you're going to get much less production from the four. And I think it's going to put us in a worse situation. I think with the floor spaced correctly, Obi can play well, but it's just not going to happen. Unless we had a Hall of Fame level point guard. Like if we had, Chris Paul can make anybody look good. That's 6'9" and can jump out the gym. He can make anybody look good. And we just don't have that. So I think his ceiling, if the roster construction stays where it's at, is like maybe a Stromile Swift.
Oh boy, hey, I just found out something that may sway me on Obi Toppin. I like Obi for the record. I love Obi, right? But I think what Knicks fans do is overstate certain things, right? Like we compare Julius Randle to say Jason Tatum or John Collins when Jason Tatum has elite level talent around him. And Julius Randle doesn't.
Facts.
Right? And it's the same thing for John Collins. And it's the same thing for say, Anthony Davis and Giannis. Like, say, for instance, Giannis is a better player, right? But he also has better players around him. Right?
And there's a true roster composition around him. The roster is built around Giannis maintaining the free throw line and below as his area. Even their center is Brook Lopez is out at the 3-point line. Like he is the person that is free throw line and below. And we don't, our roster isn't constructed like that.
Okay. All right. I'm going to bring Jay on real quick, bro, after I read this super chat. Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous contribution. Paris Duggar says, no disrespect, but if you are a stats-only player evaluation person, you will never beat people who have vision before the fact. Narrow minds are stifling, and I get that, right? I am a on-the-court basketball person. I like to see the stuff on the court, but I use statistics as a counterbalance, as a balance. You know what I mean? And so what happens is when people hear me speak strictly stats on some points to try to balance the eye test, so to speak, I think people think I'm all stats. And then when I use the basketball court stuff, people think that I think I know more than everybody because I'm talking about basketball on the floor. And I don't care. So what? You know what I'm saying? But for the sake of a real conversation, a balanced conversation, you got to kind of bring things back in on both sides. You got to have balance. So with that said, I'm going to put something up and I'm about to shock the world, bro. Right? And this is I'm about to sway on Obi. I'm about to really lean more towards Obi. After I saw this, I want you guys to see this. Right? Look at Obi Toppin's defensive rating. Obi Toppin's defensive rating in year 1 was 108.3 in 11 minutes. His defensive rating in year 2 in 17 minutes, the same minutes as Quentin Grimes. Him and Quentin Grimes got for people that said Obi didn't play. Give Obi more minutes. When? I'm crying. Obi wasn't playing. Obi got the same amount of minutes as Quentin Grimes, bro. Obi played 17 minutes a game, right? And his defensive rating was 110. So Obi's defense wasn't as bad as what people were letting on, including myself. So I'm wrong. Well, not totally wrong. I knew he wasn't as bad as what people said, but at the same time, he wasn't as good as what people said also. Obi Toppin's defensive rating for this year in a weird up and down year was 110. Obi's not a terrible defender, right? He's not a terrible defender, bro.
I think that might be a function too of the players he's tasked with guarding. Yeah,
right. The players he's on the floor with, like the unit that he plays with, is mostly Grimes, RJ, Quickly, those guys. Those guys make Obi a better defender.
Yeah, I also think the majority of the fours that come off the bench don't really have an impact in the league. Like if you look at the off the bench fours, they just don't really exist that are having an impact in the league for real. If you look at the 2 guard and the 1 guard, those tweener guards like the Lou Williams types, those are the players off the bench that have a real impact in the game. So you see guards that come off the bench have a lower defensive rating than a power forward or a center because those bigs that come off the bench, you can't name a big that comes off the bench that's a 6 man of the year candidate. It doesn't really exist. There's no Kevin McHale's in the league right now. You know, 6 man that comes in off the bench that dominates.
Right, but to defend Obi though, he will play against some starters eventually, right?
That's true.
That's true. And I'm not saying that Obi is a defensive stopper. That's not what I'm saying. Right, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is let's give Obi a little bit of credit for the defense that he does bring to the table. Right. That's all I'm saying. Joe, I'm gonna bring in Jay real quick, okay?
Yeah, salute.
All right. Jay, what's good, bro?
Chilling, man.
Joe, you see how I had to kind of like moderate, bro?
Hey, like I told you earlier, man, it's passion. You gotta love it.
Yeah, man. And I'm not trying to stop people from being on screen. It's just, bro, when you get 6 or 7 people talking at one time, it's ridiculous. And then you tell everybody stop talking over each other, and they still do it.
I know what you mean, because when I was first just listening to the playbacks before I even jumped on, and people be arguing, you can't follow no type of conversation. So much noise.
Yeah. So what do you think? What are your thoughts on Obi?
I like Obi, but we have a better player right now. It's just that simple. I can't make a decision. If Obi gets me Donovan, goodbye Obi. If Julius gets me Donovan, goodbye Julius.
Okay.
I'm being consistent in what I say. I feel like right now I want to win games. Right. And if Julius is right and he comes with a great mindset, I think our upside is better with him. It's that simple.
Okay. All right. Let me bring. I want to bring Sergeant Greeny in real quick, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead, rock out, freeze. I'm good.
Yeah, man. Okay. No doubt. Sarge, what's good, bro?
Doing great, sir. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good for an Army guy.
That's a good answer. Good answer. Oh man. So my Obi. So first, I'm gonna full disclosure. I never liked Randall, and I loved Obi from the start. However, I've been checking my bias all the time, consistently, to stay in reality. I want to start it off. So if I ever slip towards giving you some, nonsense Obi facts, or actually Obi stats that don't exist, that's because my bias is influencing my decisions. Okay, but I'm trying to control it. Okay, full disclosure on that. However,
okay,
I am willing, and I think it's logical to give Randall a shot, especially seeing the physical work he's putting in right now. We must. He's a valuable, gifted player, and yes, there was some emotional reaction last year, but from overall point of view, that's a valuable player. That despite the concerns about him holding the ball, slowing the game down, is my only real concern about him is reaction time to passing the ball or giving it up and not being ball dominant, which I think can be altered with the right people around you. When you trust people around you, you will alter the way you play somewhat to give the ball up. Okay, so I think that's one factor where I'm going to be, do not trade Randall. Let's play Randall within 30 to 32 minutes. Let's bring Obi 15 to 25 minutes. Perhaps we're doing a Randall Obi at the same time. Obviously, it'll overlap and start doing about 15 minutes. And let's run like that. That's my status right now. Keep Randall, no matter who we get, Mitchell or no Mitchell. Randall should stay, and let's play it as is right now. But I want to keep Obi prepared to step right in if anything seems to be altered. And mostly, I think, going to be causing Randall to be sent out is our scheme, our playing style. It's the only reason why Randall should be sent, because I don't think he's going to cause any, emotional issues, outburst-wise, any toxicity to the team. I think he was toxic last year to the team. He was toxic to the fans, from our point of view, for a few moments.
Not to everybody, bro. That's not fair. He wasn't toxic to me.
Not to me either,
because personally, and I know this is gonna sound like a stretch, but I'm a human being and I exist around other human beings.
There we go.
And I've seen human beings get frustrated before. And I've seen human beings be mean and bully people before. Mm-hmm. And I've seen people that were bullied fight back before. You know what I'm saying? So the thing with Randall didn't bother me, in the sense that, you got season ticket holders coming to every game, heckling him and his family every game.
Exactly.
And then he just give them the thumbs down, and the whole tri-state area is like, oh, he was talking to me and my mom.
Exactly.
Yo, that's the corniest crap. Yeah, it's so corny, bro. Every time I hear somebody say something like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I'm from Crown Heights, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And such and such, I'm from such and such street. And then Julius Randle gives some random people a thumbs down, and then they be like, you know what I'm saying, they crying over, Julius Randle gave me the thumbs down. He wasn't even doing that, bro. And shout out to my people from Crown Heights. I was just using that as an example. Shout out to my people from Brooklyn and Crown Heights. I got family over there.
Right, Brooklyn in the house.
Yeah, man. And so it's like my people from Jersey City be like, you know what I'm saying? Yo, my people from the Hill be like, yo, I'm from, you know what I'm saying? I'm from such and such street. Yo, I'm from Dwight Street between Ocean and Jackson. You know what I'm saying? And then Julius Randle give 6 fans a thumbs down, and then they all emotional. They got Carl Thomas playing in the back. I'm so emotional because Julius Randle gave some fans the thumbs down because MSG is basically handcuffed in how they handle fans now, because they got bad press before from stupid fans doing stupid stuff at the Garden, right? So now they got to handle all the fans with kid gloves, right? And so they let this thing go on and 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 on. Hey, Benny. On and on. And then Julius Randle just had enough and gave them the thumbs down. And then everybody in New York is acting like Julius Randle pushed their mama down. When it was just it's the same group of bro. Sarge, you know how it is. Bro, you ever been in a situation where somebody just mess with you and mess with you and mess with you, and then you was like, yo, enough is enough?
Right, absolutely.
Right, but Julius Randle do it, and they like, nah, he ain't supposed to do that because he a professional. Nah, right. Bro.
Right.
Julius Randle could have and he should have got them fans kicked out and got their season tickets revoked.
Exactly.
But he dealt with it like a big softy That he dealt with it like that to me, that's where he went wrong. You just let this thing go on and on. You should have handled it from the beginning. Soon they say one thing out the way about my wife, I'm getting him kicked out the gym.
Exactly.
And you mad? So what? It's 17,000 other people want them same seats.
Now that's why some fans, though, I want to give some fans, the possibility that their reaction was how he handled it overall, and so some of those fans became toxic because first they didn't like him, so they're looking for reasons not to like him. Again, I go back to confirmation bias, right? They're trying to find reasons not to like him. He's not hustling, he's not passing the ball, he's dribbling too much.
Even though he averaged 10 rebounds, he averaged 10 rebounds a game, and they say he ain't hustling.
Right, exactly. His assists are the highest on the team. Leads the team in assists. He's hustling. They were looking at the fact he didn't speak up afterwards. He did say, shut the F up in the conference call statement. So they're looking for every single thing to pile on to justify why he shouldn't be given the benefit of the doubt that he was reacting to something that's very human about defending your woman, right, and defending your child. So,
but sorry, some people ain't gonna do that though. Some people gonna let men and fans disrespect their family and friends, and they ain't gonna do nothing about it. You know what I'm saying?
True,
some people not like that. So because listen, man, I've only known you for a while, but I feel like you're a tough dude, right? Notice I didn't say mean. I said tough.
There we go.
Because there is a difference.
Yes, sir.
There's a difference. And the reason why I say that is because you're from New York. You dealt with some stuff. You know what I'm saying? I heard your accent. I was like, he probably been through some stuff.
Jamaica, man.
Yep, man.
And of course, Marine Corps. Can't show that.
And the Marine Corps, right?
I'll let you know a little more credential. I'm a second-degree black belt in mixed martial arts as well as 6 other styles from Chinatown. I went into Chinatown.
Okay.
I'll be talking later about that in our talks later on. But
right. And so with all that stuff, you have to be a tough individual to get through a lot of this stuff. Is basically what I'm getting at, right? And so if somebody does something to disrespect, say if you and I are together, and somebody does something to disrespect me, and you and I together, I am certain that you would say something to them like, "Hey, man."
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And the same thing for me and you. Somebody says, I'm like, hey, man, hey.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yep. You know what I'm saying? And so when I'm getting that, and I know people are going to take this thing out of conversation, but when are we going to unblurry the lines of what's safe and what's proper in sports? Like there's one that, like, okay, if I perform bad and you boo, that's one thing, right? But it's another thing talking trash about that man, wife, and child while they are right there at the game.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And so I think a lot of this, this fan thing has gone too far. You can't just walk up to people and just say, because think about it. What if Dolan would have took them fans, kicked everybody out the gym, and let that man say that stuff to Julius Randle face right then. Y'all settled this right here, man to man.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That fan wouldn't have wanted to do that because Julius Randle is a 6'8", 250-pound beast. Right?
Exactly.
So when you can hide behind this guise of, hey, fans get to say and do whatever they want thing because I pay money. No, that's not how life works.
Yep.
Right.
And like I said, the point you bring up when you mentioned that, Ron actually said it also. He saw Charles Smith on the subway a couple weeks after that incident. Let's call it incident.
Right.
And you don't walk up to him and say you're soft. I mean, you do look and be like, oh man, but you just don't do that. Even about the game, you don't do it. Much as take it personal to his family. That's just something you just don't do. I mean,
right.
You're disappointed, but you don't take it to that level and start calling people names, much as calling their wife or saying to them with a child. So yes, that was the fans.
We probably take things too far as fans.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And that's part of the reason why the Kevin Durants and the LeBrons and all those guys don't come here Because at what point did you? Well, Sarge, let me keep it moving, bro, so everybody can get some equal opportunity. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Absolutely. Okay.
Hey, man, you gonna help me do the Patreon thing, right?
Oh, definitely, man. I'm here for you, man. I'm here.
All right. I'm gonna text you, and I'm gonna text you after this is over.
Okay, great.
All right. Greeny, what's good, bro?
Yo, what's good? Salute.
Let me read this this super chat from Paris Duggar. Paris Duggar says, "What's Obi and Randall's stats on the court together?" Paris Duggar, give me a few minutes to research that, man. I have to go to another website to find that stuff. So, hey, but how do you feel about this Randall and Obi thing? Do you think they can coexist, or do you believe Randall has to be traded in order for Obi to be the guy?
With the coexisting thing, I don't know if Tibbs trusts that. I think it's more so of a coaching thing. I think they could play together, but like not an extended minutes time period. I like Obi. I like his skill set. I think he has a high ceiling, like upside. He has good upside. Julius is a good guy. I like Julius. I really like his stats. I like how he moves. I like how he plays. I just think he just had one bad season. I think this next season coming up, because we got Jalen Brunson, a point guard that he needs to play with, I think he's going to do excellent. I don't know if moving.
What do you say? How do you feel when you hear people call Julius Randle a cancer?
His mindset of last season was a cancer to our team.
How do you know that? How you know what's in his mind?
I could just tell by his mannerisms.
You read his body language.
Yeah,
you read his body language.
I could just tell. Like, you know what I mean? When you play basketball as a player for a long time, you could tell by a person's body language if they really genuinely want to play with their team, and that's what I got from him. I'd like his team. Like, there's a lot of video clips on Julius where his teammates are trying to reach out to him, and he's just like, nah, get off me. Like, yeah, I don't.
So let me ask you this, and I'm not grilling you. I'm not grilling you, bro. I'm asking. When you go to games, do you notice that?
Yeah, I know. I notice it in everybody. I don't just pay attention to him. I look at every single player like that, and I can tell with anybody's mannerisms like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So, because I think the most aloof person on the roster, and I've been to over the past 3 years, I've been to a good handful of games, right? Mm-hmm. I think the most aloof person on the roster is Derrick Rose. Every time I see Derrick Rose, like timeouts, he be away from the huddle, like at the basket, doing layups and stuff. And so you like, D Rose, why are you not over here with the young guys? You should be talking to the young guys. Mm-hmm. But then the fans are like, I love Derrick Rose. He's a mentor. But when I go to the games, I don't see this mentorship stuff. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Right now, maybe
I just went to a game.
Maybe I'm sorry.
I'm sorry for interrupting you, but I just went to a game last season. The game when Quentin Grimes went off, I was at that game.
The Bucks game, yeah.
Yes, I was at that game, and I was sitting literally like row 4.
Right.
Everybody was. I seen all the youth was out there playing around, Deuce hanging with the guys, and then Julius just come out of the locker room by himself.
Right.
During the national anthem is on. Everybody's out there. The lights is dim.
Right.
Julius Randle coming out the locker room.
Right. You know what? I saw that in Charlotte.
I watched it with
everybody.
Eyes.
I saw it in Charlotte. Like everybody doing the pregame stuff. Everybody doing all these weird, super long handshakes and chest bumps. And Julius Randle was just like pounding the basketball in the ground, like. But that is his personality. He's a quiet dude to himself.
Yep. I think D Rose is the same way too, like that too. Like how you say he's a quiet dude to himself. I think I've seen that when he was in the Chicago. He always seemed like that type of person to me.
Right.
Like
that's why I'm not that's why I'm not knocking Derrick Rose. I'm just saying I'm just relaying what I saw.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Me too. The same thing with me. I'm just relaying what I saw. Mm-hmm.
Right. And so I'm not saying that Derrick Rose is a locker room cancer. I'm sure when people go to him, he answers questions like, "Nah, bro, do it like such and such and such." Mm-hmm, I just think he's just a quiet dude, right?
I like Julius personally though. I like him. I don't think he's a I don't think he's a cancer to our team, but that last season, I think it was a cancer to our team. I do think that last season was.
Right. I think it was a frustrating season overall.
Yes.
Right. When you're the fourth seed, right? You're the fourth seed in the East, and your team takes a significant step back. Right.
Set the bar too high.
Right.
Too high.
And you got rid of his homeboys. You replace his homeboys, and the team got worse. And you expect him to embrace that.
Yeah, I did.
Right?
Like, like how is he? Yeah.
Think about that.
You said, everybody bashing him at his game. His wife and his kids is at the game. They're what if that was you? What if you were in Randall's spot? How would you feel? I do not agree with that. That's the only thing I do not agree with. I felt him at that point. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, that was the one point that I did feel for him. But like, it goes back to, like you're saying, it's a frustration level that you went through. You know what I'm saying? The bar was set too high, and you expected something that you like, really, you needed those pieces, like you said, that got shipped off. You needed those pieces to perform like that again. So I mean, I think he's gonna do good now. He got Brunson. That dude's better than Peyton. I feel like Peyton was the reason why. I ain't gonna lie. I think we got Spider, but every day that it get longer and longer, I'm getting more Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving vibes.
Oh man,
I'm telling you right now. Every day it gets longer and longer. That's the vibes I'm getting right now.
Yo, so for one, let me say to you face to face, right? I want to say this to you eyeball to eyeball, bro. Yo, we ain't really been rocking together that long, but I do appreciate that you are grounded and balanced. Right, because it would have been easy for real, no joke, bro. I ain't saying, bro. Listen, man, listen. It's 30 people that want to be in your spot right now, bro. I can easily be like, "Thank you for your thought, man," and just bring somebody else on. Simple as that, right? But what I'm saying to you is, I love hearing what it is you have to say, because no matter what the stuff is going around in the conversation, when we shoot it to you, like, "Hey, man, Greeny, what you thinking?" You're like, yo, this is, you know what I'm saying, blah, blah, blah. I'm keeping it in the middle of the road. This is just how I see it, instead of trying to sway one or the other. Because I think one of the things that I appreciate is that it's information, and then you kind of let everybody make their own determination based off of what you say. As opposed to trying to sway me, like bring me to
I'm
your
not gonna
side.
box you. I'm not gonna box you in there. Yeah. I'm not gonna box you.
I kind of appreciate that, bro.
Thank you. I appreciate you too, Freeze. Thank you.
Man, whatever, man. You
No, I'm serious.
Whatever, man. Let me read the super chat real quick. Ed Winning P2626 says, in my opinion, I think besides his emotions, most realistic fans dislike Randall because of Fizdale trying to make him a point forward when he's more of a Zebo. I understand the Zebo thing, bro. But the thing about Randall, ever since high school, go watch his high school clips, everybody. And the point forward thing is overstated. Julius Randle has been the same player since 10th grade. Since 10th grade. Grab the rebound, bring it up the floor. It's what treated Calipari. Man, do you know how many 20 and 10 dudes there are in high school?
How many 2010 dudes there in college?
Right. That's what I'm saying. The thing that Calipari was gravitating. Julius Randle hustled, got on the board, played defense in his area, right? And see, the thing is, at 250, Julius Randle is not going to be a Scottie Pippen defender. Yeah, he's not going to be an all over the floor defender. Get that out of your minds.
Yeah, he's not going to have that endurance. He's a big guy. He's not moving like that. Come on.
He's 250.
The only person moving like that, that's big like that, is LeBron James. That's the only person that's moving like that. Like, there's no other guy that's 6'9" moving around the court. Like, maybe Kawhi, you could say, but LeBron James is the prime agile 6'9", 250, 260 dude. Come on.
Right. That's what I'm saying. 250 is too hard to you can't defend like a 3 and a 5. Most dudes can't defend 3s and 5s. It's not the way this thing works. If you're a 4, you defend 4s and 5s.
4s and 5s.
Or a small 4, you defend 3s and 4s.
Oh, yep, you're gonna be the tweener. Like you said, you're gonna be a 3 and 4. You're not gonna be a 5.
But you're not going to see Cam Johnson guarding Joel Embiid.
No. He's getting
You know
ate
what I'm
up
saying?
down there. He's
Matter of
getting ate
fact,
up.
you're not even gonna see Cam Johnson guarding Julius Randle.
And that's why we
Julius
have a
Randle
problem with
kicked out the
Obi,
Phoenix
because
game.
I feel like Obi's in that tweener range, just like how you said that 3 and that 4.
Yeah.
I don't think Obi can go down and guard the 5s. I don't think he
Right.
can do that. He don't got
And
the
I
strength
think the Knicks are and Knicks fans want Obi to be a superstar, but I think the Knicks are developing Obi to be that Derek McKee, Charles Smith, Robert Horry type of power forward that can defend some
15
threes,
points. Yep, 15
mostly
points
fours,
in
and very small 5s, right?
But I see what you're saying when they go small ball.
Yeah, but he's not going to be a lockdown defender.
Nah, he's
right?
not. I don't think Obi's gonna get to a lockdown defender. He needs to work on his defense tremendously. Yes, I do. But I'm glad you showed me that defensive rating, because I was one of those guys where I watch the games. Every game I'm watching, I see Obi, and I'm like, come on, man. Come on, man.
Come on, dude.
You know
Why
what I
you
mean?
keep- why you keep
But
getting
I'm
beat,
glad
Obi?
you showed me that defensive rating. I'm glad you definitely showed me that, because now I'm looking at it like, if he can get a little bit unshaky with the ball, he might be working with something, because he's a little shaky with the ball to me. He's just shaky with the ball. He doesn't even look for his shot. It's just like every time he get the ball and he's away from on the perimeter, he's looking to just hand the ball off to a guard. Hurry up, come get it from me, so I could just run to the basket. You could just lob. Like, you're not even looking towards the rim. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're mad shaky with the ball. That's what I get with Obi. That's like my only thing that's negative with Obi for me. And the defense.
Hey, well, let me first say, hey, everybody, this is Greeny, right? Y'all saw him in the chat. What was your name in the chat?
Greenified 2.0. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it was Greenified 2.0, but it's Greeny. So
yeah, you call me Greeny.
Yeah, man. And I don't mean that as disrespect, bro. But when you constantly going through the thing, man, and trying to get everybody's name, I just about, hey, man, this just Greeny right here. So I don't mean that as no. Let me get to Selly real quick.
No problem.
All right, Selly, what's good, bro?
What's up, Freeze?
Ain't nothing to it. Man, things got heated in there, bro. I had to kind of, I hate to have to do the moderation thing, bro. But the thing is sometimes we get to a point where everybody is talking and yelling, and we can't get to our points and stuff. And then, out of respect for the person that was speaking, you don't even hit a point. You feel me?
Yeah, I take nothing personal.
It's passionate in here, bro.
Yeah, I take nothing personal, man. One thing about me,
I know.
It ain't never personal with me. So
I know that, bro. I ain't tripping off nothing.
I like your show. I like your community. I think it's a great fan base, and you guys have awesome conversations. I just want to be a part of it.
Yeah, man. And a lot of times I just want to listen. And I can't even enjoy it from a fan's perspective because it's just too much stuff going on, bro.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's like all these okay, Benny, shut up. I got a pit bull puppy. He like to talk. He want to be on the show.
Yeah.
So what's the move? Do we trade Randall, or do we include Obi in the trade?
I think you definitely would want to trade Obi before Randall. But I would look at trading both of them. If you look at the championship rosters, man, those fours now are defenders and corner 3-point shooters. And you got you got two guards like Brunson and Mitchell coming, hopefully.
Okay.
That Julius Randle mid-range game that he has, you want that paint wide open. So I just kind of look at the roster structures of the higher competing teams, and I go, Randall, is he better? Let me ask you this, Freezy.
Okay.
Could Julius Randle be moving towards a PJ Tucker career? If he wants to win rings. Not saying he's not going to be better than PJ Tucker. I'm just saying
No. I just need some time to think about what PJ Tucker is, because I understand what Julius Randle is.
Mm-hmm.
what PJ Tucker is. See, PJ Tucker is, to me, one of the better players in the NBA, but you can't measure his greatness with statistics. You feel me? So PJ Tucker is a communicator on defense, right? The guy that's going to call your defenses, put people in position, communicate. No, you go. No, I'll go. Stay right here. Watch back door. Screen up top. That guy, Reggie Bullock. Remember Reggie Bullock used to do that for us.
Full court.
And
the whole way up. Yeah.
And so since it's not something that you can measure like free throw percentage, I think fans sleep on it.
Oh yeah.
Right.
It in the finals.
I would say not yet.
Okay. So
not yet. What about Obi? You think Obi can head down that road of PJ Tucker?
I think that if Obi Toppin becomes as sought after as PJ Tucker on championship competing teams, his career has been a W. Yeah, 100%. Okay. Yeah, because he's never going to be the main guy on your team. So, yeah. And the only reason I say PJ Tucker is because he does all the little things right. He's a 4 that has a corner 3-ball shot. And evidently a lot of people like playing
with
him.
Lethal. And it's lethal,
right.
too.
It's a high percentage 3-ball shot.
Yeah.
So, when I see Julius Randle, what I see is a player who has all the intangibles. He has all the skills. He has the hustle. He has the heart. But there's that part of someone you go, he don't got the it factor. He needs to be around the it factor. And that's just the reason why I was saying it'd be better for the Knicks to trade him, get a lot more assets back for him. And because I don't really see a lot of 3-ball shooters on the Knicks right now. I don't,
especially with that, especially if they pull off the Mitchell trade.
Yeah. I mean, where are your shooters coming from? This ain't a 2-point game.
Right.
You know, this is So my opinions are always based upon what the team is competing against. Not so much like Julius Randle is a top 100, top probably 50 basketball player in the world, right?
Right.
So my opinions always come from what's going to happen when they go against Milwaukee. What's going to happen when they got to go against Boston or Philly? You got Hartenstein. You pick up the center for 2 years. What did you pick him up for? There's your 10 more rebounds. You could put him in. He's a big center. He had a great season with the Clippers. So you got another big. So you got Mitchell Robinson, you got Hartenstein, you got Julius Randle, and you got Obi Toppin. That's a lot of bigs, man.
Yeah.
If you want Julius Randle grabbing 10, 15 boards a game, why you pick up Hartenstein?
Yeah. I would say this though. Hartenstein is overrated. Just off rip, Hartenstein has done nothing in his NBA career, but showed you flashes of what he could be if he was placed in the right system. Right? I know Isaiah Hartenstein is not Nurkic. He's not Nurkic. He's not Jokic. And that's what not as good as them. Now, let's not get it twisted. Not as good overall as them. But we would like to think that he is that guy that could mimic their playing style. Right? Is that what we're getting at? Like Hartenstein can be a passer out of the 3 posts, the high post, the low post, and that pinch post area on both sides. Right?
Is he a fundamentally sound basketball player that can box out?
Yes.
Okay. Well, then for the second unit center, that's all you're asking for. right? So
in a screener,
and he can screen, he can roll, he can catch oops. They were throwing oops to him all day down in LA, and he's big. So,
and he's more athletic than people give him credit for.
Yeah. So if you did get rid of Julius, and you had to make up for 6 of the 10 rebounds, there you go. Hartenstein comes in, he gets the 6 boards that Julius was getting, while Mitch is getting rest.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. The numbers can be. Now, I'll have the argument of not trading Julius Randle. In the playoffs, pace of game slows down. And Julius Randle can play the NBA game slow.
Right.
And that's something that you can't teach people in general. Either you can play basketball slow or you can't.
Right.
Or you end up developing that, year 10, 8, like Jimmy Butler is. So
I think though. Well, I got let me get to these other guys real quick, man. I'm gonna try to move through and let everybody do their thing real quick.
Time, Freezy.
Yeah, man. Hey, just hold on for a second. I'm gonna shoot through the guys and I'm gonna bring everybody up on the panel. Hey, so Coach, thank you for the generous contribution. Coach says, what's up, everybody? Much love. I missed a good one. Nah, we here, bro. I see you backstage. What I had to do was I had to kind of break up the fights and stuff, so to speak, for a little while, so that everybody can be heard. Danny, what's good, bro?
What's up, buddy? How are you?
Bro, it was contentious in here for a little bit, bro.
Yeah, I missed it. I stepped away to eat something quick, and I was like, wow, I came back. I saw you on the screen one-on-one. I'm like, what the heck's going on here?
Yeah, man. It was a 10 call pile up on the LIE. And I had to clear out traffic. So yeah, man.
Oh, so I have a story for you fast. I gave Lucas a shower right on Friday night.
Right.
And I guess I used too much soap. I said, I finished him. I got him dressed. So I'm going to jump in myself now next. So I jumped in. I'm good. And all of a sudden I freaking just slipped. It fell on my side of my ribs, bro.
What?
It came out of nowhere. And the most painful thing, it hurt more than tearing my tricep, bro.
What?
Yeah, and I went to urgent care to check it to see if I had any fractured ribs.
Right.
That was the worst pain ever. That fall, bro, I couldn't grab nothing. I just landed right on the edge of the bathtub on my rib cage.
Jeez.
I must have dropped the F-bomb 10 times. And Lucas came running what's going on? What happened?
Back to back.
Yeah, that was the worst. That's why Friday night, I was out of it. I knocked out because I was taking so much ibuprofen.
Yeah. Nah, bro. Bro, things happen, bro. Things happen, man. Yo. So I used to box, right? And I saw this dude that I fought a dude, and I know this is so corny, but I boxed against this dude named Ernest Green 5 times, not back to back, but me and him were on this circuit, this boxing circuit, and he is what you call a digger. Right, he never tried to punch you in the face. He never tried to, jab and hit you. He was the person that dug you to the body, right? He used to call himself Ernest the Body Snatcher Green, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I saw him. We walk in the flea market, and I see this old man. Gray fro, gray beard, you know what I'm saying? Walking on hunch over bopping. Hey, Uncle Freezy. And as soon as I hear the voice, I'm like, I know this ain't Body Snatcher.
That was him?
Right? Yeah.
You didn't recognize him too much?
Yeah, I know, I recognize. But it's when you don't see somebody for 15 years and you see them, they all gray, you know what I'm saying? And all, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, hey, man, what's up, man? And when I see him, I push him, shove him. He's like, hey, I still got it. And we squaring off. We squaring off. And I'm like, hey, man, I'm for, you know what I'm saying? Just playing around, right? But the reason why when you said that, when you slipped and fell in the shower, it reminded me of how my ribs felt after fighting that dude, bro.
He was that strong?
Bro. He didn't call himself Body Snatcher for no reason, bro.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Was he as tall as you, or was he shorter than you?
Yeah, we was about the same size. We was about the same. We were the same height and the same weight, but I was more lanky than him, so I was more arms and legs, right? So both of us, we was probably about like 218, 220 at the time. Gotcha. Somewhere in there. As we got older, you know how you get older, you start putting on that old man weight. Yeah. So we was yeah. So I saw Ernest. I was like, hey man, he like, I still got it in it. Hey man, hey old man, just go and buy them tomatoes and go on to the house.
He wanted to show you what he has, right?
Yeah, man, because what it is it's like, you know how you run across hoopers in your old league. Like if you play basketball with somebody in the league, say 20 years ago, and you see him, they'll be like, yeah, man, I still got it, man. I play at such and such park right now. And you're like, man, I ain't doing nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So you went to boxing a lot, huh? I want you to look up a good friend of mine that I used to train with in Powerhouse Gym. His name is Vinny Matalone.
I'll do that.
He fought against, what's that tall guy's name? Tyson, what's his name? Fury?
Fury, yeah.
He fought Holyfield in Texas.
Okay.
He was just like a brawler. Like he tries to knock you out, but his defense is like Obi.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Do me a favor, look him up on YouTube. You'll see his
fights. So is kill or be killed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
But he did his thing though. He fought for a long time. I think he's already retired already. He's like my age or older.
Okay.
But he always got like lit up because his face was like wide open, like saying, "Please hit me."
Yeah. I see him. I'm looking at him right now.
He has a tattoo of a chain around his neck. He's a big guy, flat top like hair.
Okay. Yeah, I see him. Brian Minto, Tyson Fury. Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. I'm gonna check it out after this, man.
Yeah. Check it out.
Hey, let me get around to everybody else just real quick.
Yeah, sure.
And then I'm gonna bring everybody else back in. I just need everybody to get some time on the screen, bro. All right. Hey, Mr. Rivera, what's good?
Yo, what's up, Freezy?
Ain't nothing to it, man. Ain't nothing to it, man. They got kind of heated in here, bro.
Yeah, it was passionate. Very passionate in here.
Yeah, man. So are you trading Obi or are you trading Randall? Which one are you doing?
Honestly, I'll take a different take. I kind of want to keep both, to be honest. Reason why I want to keep both is because obviously you know what Randall can do. There's no question in like the talent between what could be with Donovan Mitchell and the whole gang. What we can be, fully healthy and everything. We can easily sneak into the top 5 in the East easily.
Okay.
But with Obi, I kind of like him with Hartenstein because Hartenstein, be that Noah role as far as being that big that could pass. Okay. And all we got to do is just cut, and he'll probably find them. And it's easier for him. And also, it's like, let's say you do trade Randall, right? Okay, you trade Randall. Now, I'm not looking for Obi to give me the same production. We know he's not going to give the same production. But 12-7 in 35 minutes, that's not bad. That's not bad in my opinion.
That's not bad. But what are you expecting though? Do you get rid of a 20-10-5 guy for 12-7?
No.
To me, that sounds like hustling backwards.
No, it is. But if it's for the betterment of the team, for team aspect, then I mean, you got to make that move. Also, as a business, they probably looking 2 years from now where they want to just salary dump them. You know what I mean? So it could be that, or I mean, I want Randall to stay because it just makes sense for the team as far as like how better we could be versus going against a team like somebody said in the playoffs and the game slow down and you don't have that guy that you could throw it in a post and he'll get you a bucket when you need to get the bucket. It makes sense that way, but I could see both sides of it. So I'm kind of in the middle. I'm not going to say no, and I'm not going to say yes either.
Okay.
I mean?
Okay. Let me see here. So that looks like it's everybody. Okay. I had a couple people, but they dipped. I ain't going to look for them. I'm just, Coach, what's good?
Yo, what's going on?
Man, you missed it. Where you been, man? You were getting rest, bro?
Bro,
And then Coach Dip. Yo, I thought Queen said she was jumping on. Yeah, see, hold on, let me put this thing in here. I wanted to get the opinion of my girl. I wanted her to come in here and rock with us for a few minutes. Hey Queen, if you still got a few minutes, if you can, man, I want to talk to you about the should we trade Obi, should we trade Randall thing. If you got a few minutes, if not, I understand. Um, let me see. Okay, that's Coach. That's Coach right there. All right. Hey, Coach, what's good? What happened, bro? Everything all right?
Yeah, I hit the button, my fat finger. I hit the leave button on accident.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Nah, like I'm up here visiting my parents, about 2 or 3 hours north of where I live now. So I was just on the road, and I had to actually get a little bit of sleep.
Yeah.
So
No,
see, I could have sworn, like, I came in, I saw you were talking one-on-one. I'm like, uh-oh, he must have had a round robin. He must have threw a Randall grenade.
Yeah, bro. What it is we're so passionate about Obi and Randall. What it is we leave out in our conversations, we always leave out valuable stuff about Randall and Obi. Like legit, you can't say Obi is a terrible team defender because he's not.
No, I mean, his numbers compare.
Right. His numbers,
his ratings,
Yeah. And so the other thing too is you can't say stuff like Julius Randle is a cancer to the team when you can't bro. Everybody, and I say everybody, but I talked to over the last year and a half. I talked to like seven to eight people that are around or in the proximity of Randall. And they say the dude is a sweetheart. All this mess that go on in the media is a bunch of stuff for clicks.
Right.
Like they want to put Obi versus Randall to generate clicks and stories. Right? The dude, they basically what I'm told is Julius, and I don't know this. And to be honest with you, I don't even know if what they're saying is true. But all I can do is go by the information that I get in return. Right? Like they ask me about y'all, I tell y'all about them. I ask them about guys like Randall. They like RJ Barrett is the franchise player, right? They're like, hey, there's no question who the franchise player is. It's RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett goes to every press conference. He does all the New York stuff. He embraces being the young up and coming leader of the team, right? RJ Barrett does that. He wants to be the captain of the Knicks. He wants to be. He embraces that. That's what RJ Barrett wants to be. Now, I heard that from 2 or 3 different people. I've never spoken to RJ Barrett personally. And I've never seen him say that in an interview. But all I can go by is the stuff that you hear. You know what I'm saying? And so the thing with Randall is a quiet, homebody, family man type dude who wants to be an all-time great. Right? And people construe Randall's wanting to be an all-time great with him and losing too. Losing. Now, mind you, when you want to be an all-star, when you want to be an all-time great and you're losing, you look like a selfish player. It is what it is. Nobody, and people can say whatever they want to say because people used to say the same thing about Barkley. Y'all remember Barkley in the 80s? You remember how people used to say Barkley's a stat stuffing, fat, out of shape loser. Every time you see him, but you couldn't deny that Charles Barkley was trying to be an all-time great. Right? I went to a game at the Garden. Charles Barkley dunked on Bill Cartwright, I know, at least 8 times. They ran the same play. Bill Cartwright could not stop it, bro. He could not. Right? And so what I'm getting at is this. some of these players get bad raps. I think Obi is one that gets a bad rap. I think Randall is one that gets a bad rap. I think RJ is one that gets a bad rap. But you know what can change? You know what will change this thing around? The Knicks winning a championship. Right? Because I figured Draymond Green used to get a bad rap. But now
he still does.
Yeah, but now people look at, man, his passion. That's Draymond Green's team. Now you hear that. If Julius Randle and the Knicks start to win multiple championships, I think this narrative changes.
Oh yeah.
See, the thing is, like I was listening to what Green was saying about, when he played, I agree, like what he's portraying, but I agree with what you were saying though. I think it was more tied to the frustration. Right. He's so passionate about what he's doing and his quote unquote legacy.
Right.
Like he knows he was the main guy, and if we lose, he knows everyone's gonna point the finger at him.
Right.
So he's human. The frustrations are evident, and in today's society, with social media and everyone's got video of we have 3 or 4 angles of any emotion any player shows on the court. All that stuff's amplified.
Right.
So does Jalen Brunson get all that smoke that Randall's been getting if the Knicks lose? Does that kind of go on to Brunson? Does that help? Do you think Randall maybe not taking the smoke this year because it's all going to go on Brunson or D. Mitch if they lose? No. Maybe that helps his popularity rating.
I mean, if we got that group and we lose, that's starting to look like the coach problem.
There you go.
Yeah. And the front office. Now you're like, okay, so what's the front office doing?
So is this
because y'all sold out. Y'all basically sold the farm because y'all believed that this would work, and now it's not working.
So this is
yeah.
This is the Phoenix Suns, Utah Jazz year. This is exactly where the Knicks are this year. It's the Suns and Jazz from last year. If it doesn't work, you got to blow it up.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Personally, if we get Mitchell, if we're not hosting the first round of the playoffs as the 4 seed, it's not. It wasn't worth the hassle.
Okay, so let's play that out. You got D. Mitch and Brunson, and everyone else is up for trade, but you got no draft picks because you spent it all on D. Mitch.
Well, you still have draft picks. You got draft picks in every other year.
Okay, but all right.
But what you're saying is you don't have movable draft picks.
Are you the Utah Jazz of this year? Is Donovan Mitchell leaving the Utah Jazz to come to the Utah Jazz? Because if it doesn't go the right way,
of course it is. Because Tom Thibodeau is an older version of Quinn Snyder.
Okay.
Walt Perrin, Johnny Bryant are former Utah Jazz employees.
Okay.
Right.
So,
but if you're saying we're only going to keep Brunson and Mitchell and everyone else is up for grabs, we're going to get draft picks back.
Okay.
So
now Donovan
trades.
Mitchell and Jalen Brunson have left 2 playoff performing teams to go to a rebuild. This is a big year.
No, I think we.
You see what I'm saying?
I think we're in mid build, not rebuild.
No, y'all are.
Not when you get once you get Spider, you can't waste Spider. You can't. But Selly, here's the thing.
No, I'm saying we were in mid build before we got him. Now it's just time to go. When we got
him. You're in win now. Right now, you're in win now.
Right. But here's the thing. No, here's the thing. I want you to establish a benchmark.
Okay.
Right. So what is the benchmark for winning? Like, what would satisfy this equation?
What would satisfy Donovan Mitchell?
Is it Eastern Conference Finals?
I think anything less than the Eastern Conference Finals, if you guys get Donovan Mitchell and you keep Julius Randle, if you guys have Randle, Brunson, and Spider, right?
Barrett.
And and Mitch Robinson and
Mitch
Hartenstein.
Robinson.
Because I'm gonna put the Hartenstein there because not everyone's got 2 7-foot centers. Not every team has 2 7-foot centers. Because when you're in the 7-game series, that shit matters.
Yeah.
The bigger you are, the better you are in a 7-game series. So, and if you don't reach the Eastern Conference Finals with that roster, because now that I'm really taking a deep, hard thought about that roster, that shit's deadly, man. You're going to go through the Hawks.
I mean, on paper, that's the third best starting lineup.
I'd put you 4 in the East on paper.
All right.
I'd go Boston, Miami, Philly, New York.
Oh, well, I guess technically Brooklyn, I was thinking, but
Brooklyn's done. They ain't got. I'm not even worried about them.
Yeah, I mean,
they checked out. Kevin Durant knows he ain't beating the Clippers because the Clippers are going to the finals in the Western Conference. So just meet them there because that's who you're going to be playing. And, that's my opinion. I don't see anybody beating a healthy Kawhi and PG with that depth. You got Robert Covington.
But we said that the last 2 years.
Yeah, but you said
last year was
healthy.
Kawhi was out.
Yeah, and he was hurt. He had nagging injuries anyway. You know what I'm saying, going into that.
So that's
my
deal. The WCF.
How much does John Wall have left in the tank? We don't know because we really hadn't seen him.
70% Freezy. The man is ridiculous. At 70%.
I understand.
That was I live in Baltimore. I'm down here in Baltimore, and so I get the Wizards games.
Right.
And I remember watching the Wizards games with John Wall, and if he never got hurt, man, that was sad because that dude.
Hey man, I like how I roll off your voice, man, off your tongue. You said Baltimore. I'm thinking Baltimore. You said Baltimore.
Yeah. South Baltimore, southeast Baltimore. Yeah.
I was just there a little while ago.
Yeah.
I was visiting a place called Glen Burnie a little while ago.
Yep, familiar.
Yeah. I think we went to the South Baltimore area. I think we were visiting some place and we were trying to get to like a casino or something.
Yeah, there's like 2 of them around here, yo.
Yeah.
Is that where Chesapeake Bay is, or no? Somewhere else?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, the Bay's around here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
man. So I just real quick about the Eastern Conference Finals thing. I think the Knicks can probably let me say it like this. Let me preface my statement by saying I can see the Knicks make a series playoff run if we do get Spider, but at the same time, we do get those wing defenders, the wing 3 and D guys for your bench. And I'm talking about like a Bo Cruz, Josh Jackson type pairing. Cam Reddish takes a significant step. Hartenstein is indeed that player in the mode of a Nurkic or Jokic. Now, I'm not saying talent level. I'm saying skill set, right? And also, one of our guards that remain has to have a superior breakout season, right? And Derrick Rose has to stay healthy.
This is
you notice I mentioned a lot of stuff has to go right?
Them ifs are building.
Yeah.
But a lot of teams have those ifs, honestly. Everyone's an injury or 2 away.
Right.
It's a big year for New York. Big year. If y'all get Spider, it's basically.
I mean, we didn't have these ifs last year. We weren't talking. We were just hoping to make the playoffs. That was our if.
And if you don't get Spider, that's where you're at too. Yeah. You're at, play in 8 seed, 7 seed.
If we don't get Spider, I want to back up off that a little bit. If we don't get Spider, I want to say we're not good enough to make the play-in.
Wow.
No, you won't be a play-in team. You'll be better than that. You'll make the playoffs without the play-in. Yeah.
Explain it then. Why?
You guys got a big team. There's a lot of size deficiency in those lower ranking East Coast teams.
Yeah.
You guys, I mean, you got dominant centers. You got 2 dominant centers.
3 of them, I think.
Okay. You got 3. Yeah, because you got the rookie, or the second year guy.
Yeah.
Sims.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think your bigs will just carry you right into the bottom end of the playoffs. And, because Brunson's going to run a great pick and roll game.
Yep.
So I don't really see the rim protection being an issue. And you got veteran leadership. So I definitely put you guys.
And for that scenario to pan out, I still think Mitch has to take that next step we need him to take.
Yeah.
I think if Donovan Mitchell comes to New York, you can see. I think Mitchell Robinson will be 13-10.
Yeah.
If with just Jalen Brunson alone, I think he's 10-10. Mm-hmm. But Mitch's problem is not scoring on the floor. His problem is he's a terrible free throw shooter,
and he fouls a lot, and he gets in foul trouble all the time.
Right. And so while he was a lot better this year at that, not getting in foul trouble, the previous seasons, well, I would say this: over the course of his career, he has constantly gotten better at not chasing blocks.
Yeah,
that was the team. That was detriment to the team defense, right? But what I will say is this: if we don't get Donovan Mitchell, you have to depend on guys taking major steps forward. And I think if we don't get Donovan Mitchell, I think Julius Randle is gone.
So I don't really see much of a difference between the Memphis Grizzlies and the New York Knicks without Spider. I don't really see it. A bunch of young talent. Yeah, you don't got Ja, but Brunson can put up similar efficiency.
Did you see the Memphis? Did you see the Grizzlies win-loss record without Ja Morant?
Yeah, they were actually a better team.
They're
the
better.
Same team.
Deal with Ja having to be
better, yeah.
But Ja's a monster, though, bro.
Yeah, I remember that point you were making, that the Pelicans without Zion and
made the playoffs,
and Grizzlies without Ja. But when RJ don't play, we stunk.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a coincidence.
It's about impact. It's about impact.
Red Jackson Jr.
Draymond Green said it the best about Memphis. They're so young and inexperienced, they just kind of bought in. And it's amazing when you have a group of people buy into something, what you can accomplish. And if the Knicks can do that, they can just buy into the system. There you go. But
that's what I think kind of happened that first Tibbs year. Everyone just said, "Screw it, let's all just buy into what he's selling," and we didn't get injured, and we did it.
Who's the alpha on the Knicks if Spider comes? Spider's the alpha, then Randall, then JB. So Jalen Brunson has pretty much swapped roles with Dallas and New York. He's the third guy.
Yeah.
So he isn't getting what he wanted.
I legit think the alpha thing is kind of in a weird place, because there's no way you're gonna talk to RJ Barrett and tell him he's gonna be a beta.
Right.
RJ Barrett is an alpha personality.
But if you go to Memphis, they all tell you Ja's the alpha. There's no battling for the spot of the dominant figure in the system. So you come to New York.
With Randall. What about Randall? The same question.
What about him, though?
With Randall.
But
what's your question?
No, you said with RJ, you're not going to tell him he's a beta, or right?
Right.
So how does that work with as far as telling Randall that? Because now you have Mitchell, and we have Brunson, and we have RJ.
But it's like this. It's like this, Chop. You know how like in a pack of wolves, and then the young bull, he start growing up, and then he start testing that the leader. I think it's like that now. I think it's like RJ's grown up now, and now it's time for him to take the reins from the alpha now. I think it's time for him to be this, from no question.
So Randall is the alpha, right?
For now, yeah. Right as of
Okay.
right now, but going into the season,
I don't think so. I think we're mixing alpha with best player. Alpha is a mentality. Alpha doesn't mean equate to talent.
Right. Yeah.
Alpha
Yeah, that's
is
true. That's true. That's true.
is mentality and drive.
Okay.
Yeah, RJ definitely got that. RJ definitely got that.
Like for instance, I personally rub people the wrong way sometimes because I do feel like the leader of the pack type thing, right? And I won't acquiesce to others, and I won't cede the number one spot to people. But what I will do though is I like having people around, right? And so I try to work on it. So my mentality is, Uncle Freezy, shut up and let people talk, or shut up and let them do their job. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, the reason why people put me in these spots is because I have that alpha mentality. It's like anybody in here watch golf, like when the USA plays somebody else, such and such. And Tiger Woods' prime, he was the alpha dog, right? And he was talented, right? But he wasn't the captain of the team. It was others on the team that were talented like him. And what they would do is allow those other guys to do their role while this alpha guy would take on the other alpha from the Rams meeting on the mountaintop is what the alphas do.
And they,
right
they bang
now,
head.
right, head to head, they're going, somebody gonna win and somebody gonna die. That's basically what it is with that, right? And how you know who the champion is while you wait at the bottom of the mountain, you'll see the loser flying off the mountain. You know what I'm saying? and
the alpha's got to keep doing that over and over until he loses, because he's going to lose.
Or yeah, because he's going to lose eventually, because nobody stays in that role forever. Right.
All the time.
And so the thing with Randall, because our conversation as fans, we have this: who's the alpha? Who's the number one guy? Who's the number one option? Who's the closer? Who's the guy in the fourth quarter? Bro, you don't have to. You don't have to speculation in the offseason. You don't have to do that, bro. You know what you should be doing in the offseason? Building your team. Team building. Drafting right, signing free agents, all of that stuff. So when the games start, these guys can figure that. Yeah, the guys can figure that out on their own. Yeah, I know.
I mean, what I'm saying is that if you don't take the reason why people become alpha
for Russ. Yeah,
the people become alphas in the general of like social hierarchy are the people that can keep everyone at peace easiest. So the person that can keep peace always tends to be the leader, because nobody wants to deal with people that are always at war. Nobody wants to be at war. So
all the time.
Nobody wants that. So the peacekeepers end up becoming the leaders, and then you get mad at them because you ain't getting what you want. But that's what I'm saying is LA is a prime example of when you don't take personality into account, you end up with LeBron and Russ Westbrook.
What's up, boss lady? How you doing?
I'm good. I've been enjoying you guys in the background. This show was fire today. Well, it's every day, but this show was actually was fire.
Hail, Queen! Hail to the Queen!
Hey, so for those that don't know, I'm sorry, just real quick, y'all. So for those that don't know, Queen Steph is the host of the Queen's Court on Nothing But Knicks. Make sure y'all check them out. Subscribe to the channel so you'll get notifications when she go live. And she also has her own joint. What is it? Dope Sports Talk? Is it?
Yeah, Dope Soul Sports Talk.
Dope Soul Sports Talk. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Queen, if you are so inclined, if you could put that link in the chat, that way we can make it easier for people to get straight to your joint so that they can subscribe and be aware when you go live.
Will do.
And
every Tuesday, 9 p.m.
Bim. Every Tuesday at 9. Make sure you guys are aware of that. And what the Queen and I have in common is not only just love of the Knicks and the NBK thing and all that stuff is the on the court basketball stuff that we like to talk about, right? Not the speculation, not just fries come with that number 7 combo. No, I don't care. What we care about is what happens on the court, and we both of us try to kind of get away from the fan speculation. Like, well, who's going to be the number 5 option?
Right.
Who cares?
Right.
Who cares? Can you play or not?
Right.
So that's a few of the things that we have in common. The other thing is when we talk, we like to speak to the conversation. Like when there's a topic on the floor, let's not put window dressing on that topic to sway people to our side. Let's actually break down what it is that we're discussing. Right. Like personally, sometimes I back it up with numbers, and sometimes I back it up with on the court, and sometimes I'll jog your memory. Right. Like you remember the Phoenix game when Alec Burks was at the free throw line and he missed that free throw, and Cam Johnson ran around him, grabbed the rebound, came down the court, hit that 3, and the Knicks lost in Phoenix on a Friday night. Right. Sometimes I jog your memory because what happens is people like, well, we don't need Donovan Mitchell. Okay. You remember that Friday night in Phoenix when Alec Burks?
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, Queen, how you been?
Been good. I've been good. I've been, trying to level up. I've been busy. I'm a career woman. I got my businesswoman as well. And I have my own channel now. And I really like this stuff and just trying to level up my equipment. I spent all weekend trying to use my camera as a webcam and with the cam link, but it's still blurry. I have to go back to the webcam, but it's fun. It's fun.
It's all that pre and post production stuff that Knicks fans they don't know about, and they don't even care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But we spend so much time. We spend just about as much time off the camera working on stuff as we do on the camera talking about stuff.
Yeah, and one thing about this community, we care about what we do. So it may look like sometimes we just popping on, but we not. We put some thought into. There's many times I came up with a topic and I'm like, I don't think the chat want to hear that. So, just thinking about, what do Knicks fans want to hear? I got to level up my music. I got to do. But, one of the best, and I'm going to just say this, and then we'll move back to the Knicks. Shout out to all the content creators that tell you how to start a channel, what you should, those things you should look for. The 2 great advice I got was start before you're ready and practice in public. Because
Sim probably told you both.
Nah, I got the start before you're ready for Sim. But
Sim,
practice before you're ready, I got from a video on YouTube, because you'll spend months, even years, getting ready and don't put out anything.
Right. No doubt. How do you feel about the Obi Toppin versus Julius Randle Knicks civil war?
I don't even think it needs to be that way. Like, in my opinion, Obi as a backup, and this is where I differ with a lot of the fan base. I feel like he's where he should be at this point in his career, backing up somebody. I feel like the Obi Toppin and the Julius Randle issue is 2 separate issues, and we're putting them together. Randle is better than Obi, period. There's just no way you can break that down right now. Obi may one day become a better player than Randle. Right now, Randle is better despite being flawed. So I agree with the fan base. Randle is flawed in terms of the inefficiency in his game, the way he showed out last season, getting to the point where you can't really trust him. That's a separate issue. Randle is pushing his own self off the Knicks. I don't think Obi's play is pushing Randle off the Knicks. I see it as 2 separate things. I forgot who you had on earlier that he said that he would get rid of both of them because we need a stretch 4. We do need a stretch 4. Neither of those guys can hit the 3 at a consistent level. So if you're going to keep Randle, you got to have a stretch 4 behind him. If you're going to go with Obi, you need to have a stretch 4 behind Obi. And I think if you're going to go with Obi, Obi to me at this point is a backup. And I think that's where I disagree with it, a lot of the fan base. He has more skill. He does not getting the minutes to show it. My opinion, you're not getting the minutes to show it because you don't have the skill to at this level just yet. And there's no way for us to tell who's right and who's wrong. That's just my opinion, you know? But as far as trading them, my preference right now is give Randall an opportunity to see how he rocks with a point guard and a star. We always said he wasn't a number one, and I agree that he's probably a number three. Let's see how he operates as a number three. Now, I get it. There's concerns about whether or not he will accept that role. We shall see. I'm willing to bring it into training camp, see if it works out. On paper, it's a clunky roster. I agree with that as well. But I thought Chicago's roster was a clunky roster, and it worked out. So I don't want to make decisions on paper. Let it play out. You can always move off of Julius Randle. This idea that, he's gonna sully things and he's gonna, like, the team is not gonna be able to function if he's too emotional. These are not weak guys. You got Brunson. If you have Donovan Mitchell, automatically he moves down the totem pole. People, they're not gonna be looking to Randall for leadership. Just like Rasheed Wallace, as good as he was, they wasn't looking to him for leadership. He always getting texts. They looking at him like, yo, what you doing? They wasn't looking for him for leadership. They just knew what he can bring to the team, and they tried to contain him as much as possible. I don't even think it's going to be that bad as far as Randall is concerned, but he moves down the total pole. Let's see how he is when his turnovers should go down because he's not handling the ball as much. He's not facilitating the offense. He's not going to be in a situation where he's making decisions, at least as much decisions. Let's see how he is in that role. That's how I feel about Randall. As far as Obi can continue backing up Randall. Let's not act like it's just Obi or Randall. If we feel like this starting lineup is clunky and we need somebody that don't command the ball, does it have to be Obi? Like, there's nobody else in the NBA that maybe rebounds better, maybe he's a better defender that can be, and that it has to be Obi. No, it doesn't have to be Obi. Another thing, it's my last point, Freezy. We focusing on the fit and the potential starting lineup between Obi, Randall over Obi, Obi over Randall. What about the fit between Obi and Mitch? So you're going to have two players who are rim runners, two players that you can't throw the ball down to get you a bucket. I'm not talking about in the waning moments of a game, but just period. So that means all of your offense is going to be generated up top. Either they're going to take the shot or they're going to have to set up Obi and Mitch, because neither one of those guys that can create their own shot. They have to get their shot off of somebody else. You can have one of them dudes in the starting lineup, but two that can't generate offense, I think that's a bit too much. But again, I see it as two separate issues. Randall is his own issue. Obi, his own issue. I don't think it's one or the other. There are other power forwards in the NBA.
Hey, so Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous contribution. Paris Duggar says, Obi and Quickly are backups, but 25 minutes a game, guys.
Those are not backups. There's not that much room. If you're paying your starters 35 minutes or 30, how many minutes is left for the second team?
Right. Right. And then at the same time, Queen, they don't offer the positional flexibility to play 2 or 3 positions, whereas they can get 12 minutes here, 8 minutes here, 7 minutes there. And so now, since they're pigeonholed, since Obi is just the backup 4, right? He's not getting 7 minutes at the 3, 7 minutes at the 4, 7 minutes as the backup 5.
Right.
Now you have to now you only have a spot for 2 power forwards on your roster. And if Randall is cooking, Obi's not playing.
Right.
So Paris Duggar, hey, thank you for that, Paris Duggar. We appreciate that. So Queen, what do you think? So let me ask your opinion on this. We put a poll in the chat, right? And I'll be honest with you, I put it out there because Knicks fans. So Queen, so y'all know the thing about social media is once you get on social media, it's 24 hours a day, man. DMs, mentions, all the stuff. Like, Uncle Freezy, you said such and such on the show. What do you think about this? And so, what do you think about the thought of trading Randall to clear a spot for Obi? I heard what you said. I heard what you said, and I think Randall's the better player.
Right.
I think they can coexist.
Right.
There is a universe where Obi can be the backup 4, and just be in that role.
Right.
But he, as a player, has to produce in that role.
Right.
Right. That's my frustrating thing. Like, people are like, well, with more minutes, you'll see Obi do it. Bro, y'all, listen. Obi has not shown you that he's going to grab more rebounds and be a dominant rebounder if you give him 30 minutes. What he shows you is that against certain teams, he can get a basket full of rebounds. Against other teams, he's not even a factor on the boards. Julius Randle, against every team, I feel like is at least in that fight for those. Some nights he'll get 8, some nights he'll get 14, 15.
Right.
But he'll produce in that role. Right? Some nights against teams with great offensive players, Julius Randle will step up. I like Julius Randle's defense against Kevin Durant, against Giannis, against Anthony Davis. Will he stop those players? No. Will those players stop him? Obi Toppin against Kevin Durant. Do you like that matchup?
No.
Do you like Obi Toppin going against Kevin Durant? No. Right? These are the things that we have to consider. Do you like Obi stopping Giannis one-on-one? No. Do you like Obi trying to give Giannis the business? No. And these are the things that you kind of have to think about. Like, you have to have some forethought about what it is you're getting if you trade Randall. Now, and if you trade Randall, who's your backup 4 now? Right? If you trade Randall, is Obi still your backup 4 and you just bring in another power forward? Or did you start Obi and then you bring in another power forward? And then that power forward that you bring in, if Obi's a starter, do you bring in another young, bouncy power forward to push Obi Toppin to be better? Or do you bring in a veteran? And so, like, these are all the things that you have to consider with the roster makeup.
Right.
And then these guys that you bring, if you trade Randall, right? If you trade Randall, what are you getting in return? And does it benefit you in the short term? Is it a player, 2 players? Or is it draft picks, things that benefit you down the road? You just move Randall so that you can play Obi. There are a lot of things to consider when you say just trade Randall. Right? Just get him out of here. Randall body language just, yeah. When I go to games, bro, I see Derrick Rose body language. I'm like, And you know, when you in a corporate setting, I don't know if I like Derrick Rose's body language because he's aloof. When people talk to him, he just shake his head, but he be walking in the other direction. You know what I'm saying? He like in his own world type of deal, right? But I know he's not a bad guy. I know that's just how he is. Derrick Rose is not a. I'll give you an example. Derrick Rose is not an Uncle Freezy. People tell me all the time, man, I can't wait till you get here because you mingle and do all this stuff with other people. You like the life of the party and all that. That's me. I like being that. But everybody doesn't like being that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Some people, they enjoy company and all that stuff. They just have a different personality type. And Julius Randle is one of those guys. He's not Obi Toppin in terms of personality. They're different. Julius Randle is aloof to himself, doesn't like the cameras and all that stuff, but he's a good guy. Obi Toppin likes smile. Every time I see Obi Toppin, I think Prince Hakeem. Welcome to Zamunda. That's what I think about every time I see Obi Toppin, bro.
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm very happy to be here. That's what I think about when I think about Obi every time I see him. And there's nothing wrong with smiling for the cameras and doing highlight dunks and all that stuff. But how does that equate to the Knicks winning a championship is my concern.
And you somebody said it earlier, it's chemistry. The chemistry, is it going to be right? That's key.
Okay.
Like, I don't have a problem with the Knicks trading Randall if we're going to be a better team.
Right.
I don't have a problem with that because it's about the Knicks. It's not about Randall.
Right.
I think that Randall last season gave me pause, not because he might be aloof or not because doesn't have that gregarious personality, but because he just imploded a few times when we really needed him. And it just wasn't a good look. And it does make me wonder, when things get tough and when things get tight, will we be able to count on him? That being said, that was before signing Brunson, before potentially bringing Donovan
Mitchell
on this team. Because now if you implode, so what? You're not the heart of the team anymore. You know what I mean? You're not the heart of the team. You're an important part of it, but you're not the heart of a team. If you decide to implode, we don't have to look around and be like, yo, where are we going to get a rebound? Like, where are we going to get points? We have other players. So that's why I think that emotionality stuff is going to be less of an issue. First of all, I don't think it's going to happen again, but if it does, it's less of an issue because he's going to be less important. Still needed, but less important on it.
Right.
If you choose Randall, I feel you got to bring in another power forward, in my opinion. I just don't like having two rim runners in that in the starting lineup, and all of your offense being generated up top.
Hey, Queen, and you know what? The rim running thing frustrates me because people that don't know basketball, and it's a lot of people, right? It's a lot of fans. They never played organized ball. They don't understand what it's like to have a big that can catch a pass in traffic and finish. Because a lot of times what gets to Sports Center is not the 8-foot bounce pass to your center in the paint, and he does a one dribble fake and maybe drop steps off the box for a basket, right? They see the lob over the top of a defender dunk finish, alley-oop. Right? And so what frustrates me is Obi is not a great pass catcher in traffic. What I just mentioned, coming down when he cuts to the basket, if I'm on the wing and I see the angle there, I throw Obi the bounce pass. That pass is bobbled. So now Obi got to gather himself, kick it back out. We got to reverse the ball back to the other side. Hopefully the defense won't catch up to the ball, trying to catch the weak side 3-point shooter in the corner, right? Mitchell Robinson does not catch passes in traffic. He's got decent hands, but catching the ball. Look, you run in the pick and roll. Mitch is going down the lane, right? You can't trust that Mitch can catch a pass in traffic because if he bobbles it or misses it, it's a live ball turnover going back the other way. And now your 7-foot guy has to run from one rim to another rim. That's 88 feet. This dude's got to run 88 feet full speed. Anybody in here ever played center? Saw, did you ever played center?
No, I did.
Yeah. So Queen, you know what do you know exactly what it's like when you're playing center and there's a live ball turnover and you're underneath the rim. Everybody expects you to sprint back full speed, right, to defend your rim, right? And when you don't do it, they be like, "Oh man, Queen lazy." When everybody else had a head start, right? Think about it, everybody else had a head start. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? And these are the type of things that Mitch, Julius Randle, a lot of guys they get when you see the little snippets on Twitter where somebody is like, Julius Randle didn't close out on the wing right here. Really, Julius Randle didn't leave the box and sprint out to the perimeter, knowing that his weak side defender is not coming. You know what I'm saying? Somebody has to protect the rim. What about the perimeter guys guarding dudes on the perimeter? Anybody ever thought about that?
I mean, sorry.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Queen. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I do think he was late on rotations.
Yeah.
I definitely saw that, and I think part of that may have been him being out of shape, no excuse, or not being in as great a shape as he was the season before.
Right.
And maybe, like you talked about, being, not that this is an excuse, just really being maybe not as motivated, just seeing, you know, how the team was constructed and things of that sort. And again, there's no excuse.
There's no excuse for that, right?
Yeah, but I definitely seen that. All I'm saying, Freezy, is I would take a chance on seeing Randall in this new lineup,
right?
Instead of just saying I don't even want him back. I want to see him with Brunson and hopefully Donovan Mitchell. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, so
I'm
Queen,
gonna
just to that point, just real quick. So Julius Randle's defensive rating 2 years ago.
My bad.
So Julius Randle 2 years ago, I think NBA.com had him ranked as the 8th ranked defender in the NBA, right? Based on defensive rating, right? And then last season he was ranked 18th, right? Now, people in that same vein on this team got a better defensive reputation, and they had worse numbers.
Right.
They were rated worse. I think some of it has to do with scheme. Sometimes, basically, what I'm getting at is a lot of times you're going to get miscommunications in anything that's organized.
Right.
Sometimes you're going to have miscommunication. Even we do it. Like people will say, "Oh man, Uncle Freezy, you told me you was going to jump on that 8." And so I was gonna come through at 8. And I was like, nah, bro, I've been telling you 6 o'clock all day. So sometimes you're just gonna have, and what I'm getting at is the miscommunications on defense, right? And then others is like, I don't think as Julius Randle is totally lazy. I think some of that has got to do with basketball IQ. When Reggie Bullock was on the team, telling Randle to go, and telling him where to go, where to stay, and all that stuff, Julius Randle was a top 10 defender, top 2 at his position. The only person that was better than him at his position was the dude that won Defensive Player of the Year, Giannis. Is he lazy on some stuff? I get it. I saw it in Charlotte. I saw Kemba get beat, and I saw Randle not even try. He like, this dude getting beat by a drum. Why even go out there? Why even try? This dude getting beat by a drum. What's the point? But let me do the super chats just real quick. Okay. I'm gonna just do these super chats real quick. Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous contribution. Paris Duggar says Randall and RJ are lazy over that 30-minute threshold. OB and IQ are players.
Plus players.
And plus players. And then Paris Duggar also says, you don't throw a bounce pass to bigs in traffic. That's not what I said. Okay, all right. So it depends on the way that you look at stuff. Bigs have to have hands in traffic. Let's not be ridiculous. Bigs have to have hands. Bigs have to have hands, bro. Yo,
hey, Quinn.
Let's not.
Hey, Uncle Freezy. And salute to the panel, man. Salute to everybody. Hey, Queen, man, a big fan, man. Salute to you for coming through and blessing our channel. You know what I mean? Even though it's Uncle Freezy channel, but I've been watching you for a minute.
Be honest.
Yeah, I've been watching you for a minute, so I'm just happy, excited to see you here. Just got 2 questions for you, quick rapid fire questions for you, because I trust your expertise. Basically, you look like a person that want to keep RJ. I'm not for sure if that's what you want to do, but if we keep RJ with 2 dominant ball handlers, how is he expected to reach his potential ever with 2 ball dominant handlers? And are you comfortable with that big 3 tying up your team for the future?
One, it's about the Knicks. It's not about RJ's development. So I'm not going to not bring in a player, even if I thought that player would stunt his development, which is not something I believe in. It's about
somebody got something playing in the background.
If somebody does. If it makes the Knicks better, you got to bring in the player. I can't be like, oh, this player is going to make RJ's not going to reach his potential, so let's not bring him in. It's not about RJ. It's about us as a team building a championship. That being said, I still think RJ is going to grow. However, you may not see all of his game. It happens all the time. Sometimes you don't see all of that person's game until they move to another team. You know, they had it, but that wasn't their role on that particular team. And you don't really see it until they move on, and then sometimes they move on and get exposed, but that's a different story. RJ is still going to develop, but his role is going to be different. His role is just going to be different. And it's about the team overall. And,
All right.
There'll be room for him to get better as well on the team. There'll be room for him to get better.
Okay. I'm going to, I just want
to respect.
Real quick. I want to say, Queen, we know you're brilliant, mostly because you agree with what I say. That's one of mostly that. But I mean, you're brilliant overall. I do want to speak to the aspect of the emotional or even the aloofness of either Randall or Rose. Because you've played team ball, we've all played, most of us are, been competitive athletes in some form, shape, or form. Some of it is game prep and even during the game, the mentality. Some players need silence, need solitude to stay in focus, to stay in their zone. And some players, I want them who just need to interact. I need movement. I need to play some music. Right. I don't need to have DMX. I can even have, well, I'm not gonna go so far as Whitney Houston, but I'm just saying, if I hear music, I can keep myself moving. But
Sandra, you saying that you love the kids?
They're our future.
Yeah. Sandra's about to sing that song. He about to sing that Knicks fan song that everybody like. I
Sex
believe the
chocolate.
children of the future.
He about to say, "We are the world. we are the children.
Yeah,
we are the ones that make a brighter day."
That boy good.
That boy.
I'm a Nas. Nas and Biggie are the ones I used to play.
I was gonna say, man, Sarge, you are like one of those Knicks fans that think trading away all the vets and playing the kids is the way to go, right? You believe the children are the future. Teach them well and let them lead the way, right? Is that what it is?
I didn't even sing it for you. I was singing for you, but you don't want to hear that. The people will log off right away and they'll unsubscribe.
But you know what, Freezy? It depends. Oh, go ahead.
No. I just trying to say that's part of the fact that we look at, whether it's Rose or even Randall, and we judge them based on the fact that their game prep and their in-game mentality and focus depends on them being isolated sometimes and staying focused, which can look like toxicity, or it can look like, again, aloofness. And whereas mostly people recognize, oh, you know what? He needs to be quiet. He needs to be over to the side. Let him, get into his zone like that. And the team itself is not reacting negatively to that. So they know that's how he preps. You even tell them about it. I tell people all the time, I'm going to be joking all the time. I'm going to be talking. So if you need silence, let me know. So I'm going to stay away from you. And I'm going to, hang in with the cats you need to keep moving. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey, G.I., I wanted to get G.I. in real quick. G.I., we was cutting you off. My bad, man.
No, I just wanted to sing "We Are the World" and be patient, man. Because when you're around smart people, Freezy, you learn by listening when you're around smart people. You know what I mean? You can't always talk. Sometimes you just got to sit back and listen. So I was enjoying it. Thank you for having me.
Go ahead.
That's why God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth.
If I can say something before you put me on the spot, Freezy, I've been watching the Knicks since '83. Around 96, 97, I started being a fake GM, saying if the Knicks do this, the Knicks do that. Here we are, right? I did say something to you 2 years ago, Freezy. I was like, man, this MBK and all these news stations and all these views. I said, can you imagine when the Knicks become relevant, when the media is not killing us? Can you imagine what y'all platforms are going to do? Y'all will just turn it on and 150 people just show up. So to just put it in perspective, for once the Knicks fan is not at the bottom of the barrel. I'm not saying we at the top. I'm not suggesting we Golden State, but we had a whole summer when not one media person can look down on us. We even now, first couple of days, Freezy, remember a couple of days ago, we was like, this trade's about to happen. This trade's about to happen. And I found myself every second. Then I said, Ghetto, what is you doing? Just relax. Because if nothing happens, you still have the brightest future going forward. No team has 8 tradable first-round draft picks and attractive young players. Nobody has this right now, so we don't know what the future has to hold. So before you put me on the spot, Freezy, I just want to say thank you, thank the MBK fam, Steph, all you smart people out there who just keep talking, and you just other people are watching. the Knicks. It's great to be a Knicks fan right now. This is the ground floor. You
Salute.
cannot buy in any lower than this. I'm sorry.
Right, and so what I was gonna hold on, Moss. What I was gonna say is, welcome to the Ghetto Intellect, the co-host of Knicks Freestyle that comes your way Wednesdays at 8 p.m. That's the I was saying, bro. I'll be trying to get to it, but so people love Obi so much, bro. They don't want to hear nothing except yo, let Obi wear number 33. You know what I'm saying? and yo, let Obi take all the shots. All they want to hear is Obi is the Prince of Zamunda. That's all they want to hear. That's all they want. I wanted to get to that, GI, man.
I know their feelings got hurt when Steph said, listen, Randall is flawed. Yes, there's things that we don't like about Randall. I get it. He's still better than Obi Toppin. Man, they probably started flipping stuff around.
Yeah, flipping chairs, flipping tables, throwing chairs, like Soulfinger like to say.
What's wrong with loving both of them?
Right.
Nothing.
That's what I don't get. We always trying to replace people. What's wrong with keeping them both?
Because people feel that Obi deserves more time, and Randall is standing in the way of his development and stunting his growth. That one player can stunt another player. Like, I've never got that.
There's a lot more minutes than that. But then Obi needs to be more versatile so he can be on the floor as a 3 once in a while.
Hey,
Go ahead, Olga Breezy.
So Parasaga, thank you for the generous contribution. Parasaga says, let's bet $50. Obi becomes an all-star before you know who. Right?
Brunson?
Randall,
RJ?
Randall. And so what I wanted to mention to y'all is this.
Randall's already an all-star though.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
He might be talking about RJ.
I mean, I see both ways. You know what I'm saying? I'm on the fence about it. Like, I'm not necessarily picking either or. I don't care either or either. Both players is good to me. Randall is a proven all-star. But I think what fans are saying basically is like they seem like what we're doing, and it's a question into the organization. It's like we drafted him for one, then for two, when he got minutes, he scored 40 points. Not saying he can do that every night or nothing, but it was potential there. So that's all I think where fans is at.
I mean, look at it this way with Randall. His stat line this year, okay? Just look at the final stat line. Swap the playoff year's record and this year's record with each of those stat lines. Like, what kind of year does it look like he had? Like, you know what I mean?
No, that's not my argument, Coach. Like, see, like that's what I said. I take either or. Like, that's why I don't disagree with y'all saying.
The team's success amplified the season he had that year. Okay, this year, yes, he fell off a little bit, but he was still only the third player in the league that had that stat line.
Yeah, Luka was close, but Luka didn't make it.
Right. So because our team and the injuries and the inadequacies at the point guard position,
but Coach,
our team wasn't as successful. So that all of a sudden becomes Randall's failure.
Well, Coach, let me say this.
You know what I mean?
Coach, let me say this because you're right. But here's the issue, Coach. The problem is the time Randall chooses to lose his mind. It's the fourth quarter. Right. It's the crunch times of the games. It impacts winning and losing the way he plays. So
how many games did we lose, do you think, due to that this year?
Not as many as what people like to let on.
No, and as I said, I don't want to put it all on him, but he's all we had. So the ball goes to him. And he wanted that. He embraced it. The problem he had is when the fans turned on him, he should have went to the organization and said, yo, what's this? Y'all told me to come here and take $100 million contract. What the heck's going on out there? He should have came to the organization and said, how do we deal with this? Instead, he lost his mind and got flipped with the fans, and that's where he really did his downfall. But no fan could be mad at Randall for going out there every night and trying to do more with less. He's not a top tier player, but he's out there, got one of the most expensive franchises on his back. So I agree with you. But at the same time, he's got to taper his attitude. He's got a responsibility as a leader on his team, and that's where he drops the ball. And that's the only thing. I'm not saying it leads to winning and losing, but the difference between the year he had great and last year, was the fourth quarter. That's where the fans really lost their coolness.
No, and I agree with that.
So y'all, so what it is New York fans are touchy, right? We hardcore, but we sensitive, right? Because listen, I can point to games in which the star of another team at home had the same meltdown Randall had, right? Mm-hmm. And Knicks fans said nothing. I could point to the Memphis game 2 years ago when their head coach got kicked out of the game. Ja Morant had a meltdown after that, right? After that, because we were being so physical. Elfrid Payton and Reggie Bullock were being so physical with Ja Morant that he had a meltdown and got kicked out of the game, had a meltdown, slammed the ball, cursed out the ref. And what we were saying was, why Reggie Bullock being so physical with him, man? We gonna get in trouble for that, right? The Zion game in New Orleans, 2 years ago, Julius Randle outplayed Zion on his own floor on a Friday night. Zion get teched up, start crying. The coach gets teched up because the Knicks outplayed New Orleans on their own floor. Zion has a meltdown. Get teched up, and we like, oh, but superstars supposed to get calls, right? A Luka game in Dallas 2 years ago. It's the same stretch of games. Luka Doncic flopping all over the floor like a fish out of water,
crying the whole game,
right? Melting down. Nobody says anything about Luka, but Cam Johnson keep elbowing Randall in his back in Phoenix on a Friday night this season, and Randall shove him back like, yo, I done had enough of that. I done told you to stop elbowing me in my back. Randall get kicked out of the game, and Knicks fans, instead of saying, yo, the enemy was trying to bully us, they are saying, why Randall get kicked out of the game? We need him. Some people take bullying different ways, right? Like when you're trying to push me around, you're going to push me around once. That's it. Right? That's it. And if you like, and listen, and if you like eating potato chips, you ain't gonna bully me around again. But if you like eating soup, you're gonna try to bully me twice.
You mean drinking soup?
Yeah, drinking it. Yep.
Do a straw.
Yep. And so what I'm saying is, what I'm getting at is when other teams do stuff, it's the double standard. And basically what it boils down to is Julius Randle wasn't drafted by the Knicks, so Knicks fans don't like him because he came here as a free agent. If Julius Randle was drafted by the Knicks, let's say in the top 10 and was putting up these numbers, Knicks fans would have every version of Julius. They would have every version of Randle's jersey and having a daughter wear
they be trying to compare him to Patrick Ewing.
Facts.
And I know, and I may be wrong. And I may be wrong about that assumption, but based on the way the conversations go, that is why I came to that conclusion. Right?
Because same thing with RJ.
Because think about all the things that we've seen Obi do wrong, right? And nobody brings up the stuff that Obi does wrong. Or not I'm not saying nobody, because that's generalizing. Well, what I will say is the majority of Obi fans won't bring up the things that Obi does not do right. Like how he goes into traffic and tries to do all this maneuver around trying to finish.
Right now, G-Man for life is somewhere cursing you out, by the way.
I know. I talked to him last night, too.
Freezy, when was the last time a Knicks draft pick averaged 20 points a game?
Say that one more time.
When was the last time a Knicks draft pick averaged 20 points a game?
RJ Barrett.
I'm saying before RJ.
Ooh, I don't know.
It's got to be
maybe?
Ewing.
Maybe Porzingis?
Porzingis.
Maybe.
Did Porzingis get 20 before he left?
That year, Porzingis averaged 20 for sure. He was the man. Remember Melo went down? Melo went down and he played the rest of the season.
What about
Porzingis is an all-star.
What about David Lee?
I don't know Porzingis to the All-Star game. You might be thinking of rising.
Porzingis made the All-Star game and he averaged 22 points a game. But that's the season he tore his ACL. Remember the season he tore his ACL?
To the All-Star game.
That's what it was. That's what it was.
Yeah, but that's a great point though. That's a great. And let me ask Queen this one. Somebody got echo going on. Yeah, let me ask the Queen this. I didn't get a chance to do it. And ask her this. And part of it is because she got a dope show that come on during the week, and I'll be trying to catch it. I'll be trying to catch it.
He lying. He always live. How you gonna catch his show if he always live?
He's putting in that work.
Yeah, they trying. Hey, so Queen, what do you think about Knicks fans' obsession with young cores?
I think there's levels to cores.
Right.
There's levels to the core. Like if I'm in Detroit and I'm sitting on Doran, Cade Cunningham, Sadiq Bey, who may not be a star, but I really like him.
Jaden Ivey. I mean,
and Ivy.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm sitting on that.
Jalen Durham.
Let them bake.
Don't forget, not to cut you off, Queen. My Rochester's own Isaiah Stewart. He's from my hometown.
Beef Stew, yeah.
That's a different core. I put out a video about this. I would say to the front office guy, the owner, look, forget Donovan Mitchell. Trust me, I'll put my job on the line. In a few years, we're gonna have out of this core 1 or 2 superstars. Let them bake. Same thing with OKC. Same thing. I would tell the owner, I'm putting my job on the line. Leave Donovan Mitchell between Giddey and SGA and Chet. One of them guys, if not 2, are going to be a star. Let them date. It depends on the young core, Freezy. I don't believe we have that young core. Now,
no, we don't.
Now, can they defy the odds? Yeah, nobody thought Martin would be a Hall of Famer. Nobody thought Ben Wallace would be a Hall of Famer. You can defy the odds. But see, as fans, our job is not on the line. As a front office, your job is on the line. Right. You can't relax and be like, I'm going to let this opportunity go. You know, I'll wait for the next one. Because as a fan, what are you risking? Nothing. You get to come home, turn on your TV. Long as the team is competitive, you good. As a front office, your marching orders was to create a winning team on your watch or put us on that path. So the front office is not coming at this as a fan. So the front office is looking at this core and like, am I going to put my job on the line for IQ, Obi, and Grimes? And I love Grimes. I don't want to give them up. I'm not putting my job on the line for those guys.
Yeah, for a baby.
Freezy, it depends on the core.
And the reason
don't have that core.
The reason why I asked that is because this front office transitioned from one young core to another right in front of everybody's eyes and nobody noticed. So this young core is the RJ, Obi, Quickly, Mitch young core. We transitioned from the Kevin Knox, Frank, Damian Dotson, Kadeem Allen, Alonzo Trier young core, and nobody even noticed. But that young core that I just mentioned, they transitioned from the Klee Anthony Early, Kristaps Porzingis young core. So what happens is a lot of Knicks fans and Harlem Girl, you're right. I shouldn't lump everybody together.
Right.
But I'm speaking in general terms. So So the thing is with I'm sorry, Queen, but the thing is with the young core argument is that Knicks fans say we've never been in this situation where we had a young core in draft picks. A lot of Knicks fans say that. But that could be nothing further from the truth. Because that Porzingis young core of early Antetokounmpo, Tim Hardaway, all those young guys, Jeremy Tyler, Ron Baker, all those guys were young. And as soon as you traded Porzingis, guess what you had? A surplus of young players and a surplus of draft picks, right? And then they transitioned into the Frank era, the Kevin Knox, and blah, 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 all of that. And so you had young players and draft picks, and now here we are with another young core with young players and draft picks, and people keep trying to tell me that we've never been in this situation before, but I've seen it for the last 8 seasons.
Maybe they talking about the talent level of the core. Is that, you think maybe that's what they're talking about?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's part of it.
But I don't know if that can be true either, because see, I thought about that too.
But you throwing Porzingis in there, that does change that.
That's my point.
Yeah.
That's the point I'm getting at.
Yeah,
that's because think about it. Even though we hated, even though some of us hated Tim Hardaway was a talented young player.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So man, somebody got terrible feedback, bro.
Put it on mute, maybe. Okay.
Yeah. So what I'm getting at is how long can we fool ourselves with the dog and pony show before we get to this point where we're like, listen, enough of that. It's time for the rubber to meet the road. Are we gonna win a championship or not? What are we doing here?
Right.
That's the point that I'm getting at. Like, when are we just gonna buy into winning a championship? And the reason why people bring up in general terms, everybody, there are a lot of Knicks fans that says, I'm tired of giving the free agents money and they come in here and they just take our money and then not do nothing. When was the last time we signed a high-priced free agent to come here and he didn't do nothing?
Right.
It can't be Randall, because Randall made an all-star team for the first time in his career in New York City. Right? Who is this ghost free agent that we signed that came here, I took our money and didn't do anything?
Joakim Noah.
Who is it? Joakim Noah.
But he was already a little bit hurt.
Right.
He was a little bit damaged goods.
Joakim Noah is the reason why we've been scarred for 40 years. I'm asking.
No, just saying who was the last.
Okay,
no, but I see what you're saying. But to me, the Knicks are past this maybe mode. Okay, no more maybe for the babies. Like for me, like I'm tired of this maybe stuff. When you have a chance to get Donovan Mitchell's a sure thing at 25 years old. How happy would we be if Grimes or IQ turned into Mitchell?
Right.
If we guaranteed, well, we got to wait a year or two for them to turn into that guy, maybe more. But he's him now. And if we can get him now and it's a sure thing and not a maybe, then to me, the price, it's going to be a little high, but it's worth it to me.
Yeah,
I think part of the young core fascination, Freezy, in this case is twofold. One is we just made the playoffs. I mean, we were just in the playoffs. We were jumping. Excitement was in the air, and half team was young core. Then we added a couple more, and it's the abundance of young core. That combination of fourth seed, bing bong, all that stuff. Act like we just won, Super Bowl or the NBA championship. Larry O'Brien.
Hey, Marine, NBA players don't play for the Super Bowl. I'm just telling you that because you're a Marine. If you were Army, you would have knew that.
Oh
man!
I'm just joking. I'm just joking because I knew where you were going. I just had to throw that joke in there. Just
well, because I'm a Giants fan, and we actually won a Super Bowl in the past 50 years compared to the Jets fans, and even the Bears.
And all these people, I always just see they throwing shade with the height. I'm just tired of seeing that. The guy was successful in the Western Conference. Okay, we've seen what he can do. We've seen what Brunson can do. Everyone wants to put a height on this thing. I'm tired. That's another thing I'm tired of seeing.
You talking about the height? You talking about the height of Brunson and Spider?
Yeah.
Okay. So Donovan Mitchell's team ranked 9th in the NBA in defensive rating. They were tied with the Knicks, right at 9. Jalen Brunson's team, the Dallas Mavericks, were 6th in the NBA in defensive rating, putting out a short point guard and a shooting guard that didn't want to defend, and they were ranked 9th.
Exactly.
And then when I ask a Knicks fan that says the height thing is an issue, who were the two standout defensive players on the Dallas Mavericks? They can't name them. What I'm getting at is with the height thing is I understand the height thing is an issue. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying to you guys is nowadays when guys are shooting dribble pull-ups from 25 feet, all you want to do is contest. All you want to do is contest. You don't want to try to block a. Listen, my coach punched me in the back one time accidentally and said it was a mistake. He's like, "Oh man, Uncle Freeze, I didn't mean to punch you in your back for jumping. That dude shooting a buzzer beater, and you fouled him on a buzzer beater from half court. I didn't mean to punch you in your back. I was trying to grab you. I didn't want you to fall." I'm like, "Coach, it felt like a punch though." He was like, "Nah, man, I didn't punch you for being stupid." Basically, what he getting at is you don't jump to defend jump shots from 25 feet. Now, for those that play that haven't played organized ball, I understand like the small nuances. You don't jump at. Steph, you played, right?
Yeah.
What would your coach have said if you fouled a jump shooter 30 feet away from the basket on a jump shot? What would you?
Get your behind on the bench.
He would have showed me because I would have been sitting right. I would have been sitting right beside him.
And shout out to Mr. Marcellus. He was a coach at Dickinson High School in Jersey City, right? But the thing I'm getting at is some of the stuff that we make up, man. We have to think about the basketball aspect of it, and not think about the social media narratives of it, right? Like we have to think about is just contesting a 25-foot dribble pull-up three good enough, right? I can live with that because first of all, that's a low percentage shot, and you make it an even lower percentage shot when you contest it. Right. So I don't need my 6'1" guard and my 6'3" guard trying to jump to defend, or I don't need for them to be Yao Ming size in order to defend it.
Yeah.
Right.
Because the thing is that they both might not be the tallest, but I bet you they're two of the strongest guards in the league. I guarantee that.
Right. And so Paris Duggan, thank you for the generous contribution. Paris says, kids don't win first 5 years in the NBA. So stop the BS. I don't understand.
I mean, they don't. But what I'm trying to say is if you're in the front office, you got to look. You have to make certain. It's just like playing the stocks. You got to look and say, is this stock going to take off? Like what's going on in the environment? What's going on with that company? What's going on for me to believe that this particular stock may take off? It's a gamble, but you always playing the percentages. Right. You want to build through the draft. Every draft player is not the same. Every young core is not the same. You putting your money on these three guys?
Right.
Come on. Everybody's like, we finally doing it the right way. Look what Memphis did. Look what Boston did. Look what Golden State did. But what they missing is those three teams hit on at least one of those draft picks.
At least.
It's not about just having the draft picks. You got to hit on at least
How many times did they miss? But how many times did they miss?
Missed a lot.
A lot.
That
was the point that I'm. But hey, the realist. That's Chilltown JC. Thank you for the generous contribution. He says we want accountability at power forward, or is 20 and 10 the only answer?
I mean, I believe in the accountability part, yes. But look, does 20 and 10 or accountability or an all-star power forward equal what we need to be a playoff team? I mean, look at Jalen Brunson's last team. Let's just compare apples to apples here. Like Jalen Brunson's roster, if we say we get Spida, how much of a Like the Luka and Mitch and Spider. Well, like how much better is Luka than Spider?
And we wouldn't. And so to answer the super chat though, the thing is, and I know I'm reading it verbatim.
Well, I mean, I was just getting to the fact that like Dallas's power forward was he was nothing. You know what I'm saying? And they were 4th seed in the West.
I understand what you're saying, but what I'm getting at is if you read the super chat verbatim, the question is, do we want accountability at power forward, or is 20 and 10 the answer? What I say to that is, you don't just want accountability at power forward, you want accountability everywhere. Right? Let's not just use accountability for Julius Randle and then not use accountability for the worst shooting backcourt in the NBA. They couldn't shoot and they couldn't pass. They were terrible offensively shooting the basketball, and then their backup plan was being 30th in the NBA in assists. Right? But just to mention Julius Randle, right? Just to mention Julius Randle makes me believe you guys solely dislike Julius Randle, because when you don't take into account the backcourt was terrible, shooting the basketball and passing it, and just blame everything on Julius Randle makes me think you just don't like Randle.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm not going to say whether that's fair or not, because I don't tell people how to be fans. You root for your team the way you want to root for your team. I only provide a platform that you can come in and express your feelings and opinions and all of that stuff. I'm not judging you, and I'm not trying to sway you one way or the other. What I will say, though, is when you ask me a question specifically, I'm going to give you my feeling on it specifically. And so my feeling on that specifically is, no, I don't want Julius Randle to be the only person to be held accountable. I want everybody to be held accountable, right? And by doing so, if you solely point out Julius Randle's numbers like you did 20 and 10, then point out the fact that the backcourt shot less than 40% from the field and less than 39% from three. Is that a Julius Randle thing? No. That's a 6 guys in a backcourt thing. You had 6 guys back there, and they shot less than, aside from Derrick Rose, who got injured, right? And Fournier shot, I think, over 40%, but for the most part, everybody else, even our 2 darlings, Emmanuel Quickley and Quentin Grimes, were less than 40 and less than 39. Is that Julius Randle's fault?
Nope.
And then when you think about that, the immediate upgrade this offseason by the front office was not, hey, we got to go get somebody to replace Julius. The immediate upgrade was like, let's get these bums in the backcourt out of here and upgrade them. And you saw that the first move that was made this offseason was get rid of Kemba Walker.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The second rumor was, hey, we got to trade for Jaden Ivey. Right? The free agent signing of the offseason was a point guard, Jalen Brunson. And on top of that, the icing on the cake is, yo, we need to upgrade this backcourt. Yo, we willing to do whatever it takes to get Spider Mitchell. Do any of those moves replace Julius Randle? No. Julius Randle was not the problem. The backcourt was the problem. The coaching staff and organization recognized that. They got rid of the bad parts, so to speak, and is looking to upgrade. Y'all, listen, I got to get out of here. The boss done came to the door like 3 times, like, hey, what you doing? So, hey, man, I wanted to rock till like 5 o'clock, but all right.
Sunday dinner.
Yo, Steph, you gotta pull up. You gotta pull up, man. We gotta pull up, man, because debating with you, man.
Support the queen, right? That's what we want to do.
Oh yeah, I'll be there Tuesday for sure, Mama.
Yeah,
we gotta support.
Can I just say this real quick, Freezy? I know you got to get off.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, boss.
Thursday, I'm trying to put some content that's sport related. Remember when ESPN used to, they may still do Outside the Lines. So I'm trying to do something similar once a month. But I want to start this Thursday around 9:30. I don't know the title, but the new media. And basically, I want to give content creators an opportunity to tell their creation story, pretty much, why they started to create content, and talk about them versus, which is a strong word, mainstream media.
Right.
And just how we cover the Knicks. Do we feel we covering the Knicks better than ESPN or even our beat reporters?
Right.
So if you get an opportunity, for those in the chat, stop by Thursday 9:00. Ron still Knicks fan. Sim will be on. Guard Up Knicks will be on. Hard will be on, and basically, talking about what we're doing as content creators.
Are you making these bums wear shirt and ties, boss?
Not really, but you definitely raised the dress code when you came on Queen's Court.
Yeah, I would say, hey,
and the Harry Carson interview.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Harry Carson interview was dope, bro. I'm gonna see if I can get Lawrence Taylor on, but the only thing about that though is, we gotta make sure the views be up for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So before I do try to get LT, I'm not saying it's guaranteed. I'm not saying it's even possible. I'm just saying I can try, right? But the thing about that is we want to make sure that it be bussing, like it be a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Come through and all that stuff. To make it worth their while and all that stuff. But yeah, boss lady, I'll make those dudes wear shirt and ties. You know what I'm saying? Most of them ex-athletes, they probably only got one dress shirt and one tie. Because they athletes, they probably got 1,000 t-shirts though, 1,000 jerseys.
This ex-athlete don't fit in his shirt and tie no more.
Right. So listen, everybody, thank y'all for coming through. I appreciate everybody for coming through and rocking with us. It's always an enjoyable time when we discuss multiple conversations and the theory of a lot of the ways that we think and why we think about certain things the way that we do, and certain topics that are just polarizing to us. Like we just can't get enough of certain topics, right? If you hadn't voted already, make sure you go out to the poll and vote whether we should trade Julius Randle or not. Right, and we'll try to keep a tally on that. I'll see if I can find it and post it somewhere. But it'll be on the community page, the results and everything. Again, thank you everybody for coming through. I'll see everybody in a little while. Queen,
appreciate
Sarge, Coach,
Queen, yo,
Josh Smoke, Chop Low. I see you in the back, bro.
Salute.
I'm out of here, man. Y'all have a good day. Appreciate y'all, man.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.